This is Matt, Chris, and Sean. Stay Puft is in the building. This is Comic Hall and Roundtable Discussion. How everybody doing tonight?
I'm doing all right.
Good. Fellas, how was your week, man?
Same as always is, man.
Same as always. Oh man, this was a relatively good week for a lot of different reasons, but you know,
right?
It's a decent week, specifically Tuesday. Well, I mean, of course, we're gonna talk quite a few different things tonight, man. We've got Wandavision on the docket, but we're gonna be saving that for later on in our main event. I think 2 or 3 people on this panel, maybe 4, might have a little rant about that. We've got some other stuff going on. Got quite a bit of movie news, TV news. But first, the big DC news is finally coming past in the last few weeks, and that is Future State has finally arrived on the scene.
Yep.
And I have had the chance to read Batman 1, and I have not started on Wonder Woman. Like we were talking off air, I'm waiting on a couple of my books to come in that I can really sit down and read. And we'll go from there. So I'll start with you, Sean. You have read Batman Future State. What's your thoughts on the direction of the book? Was this what you thought it would be? Was it something? Is it surpassed your expectations, or has it kind of been more of a, it's just typical Batman?
I felt like we ain't get enough in the first issue. Like we got some decent things, but once you really start to get more into the story, it just cuts off and go into 2 other stories, and that was my disappointment with it. Was that you pay $8 for a book, and you don't get a lot of the main story, the main title, and I kind of was feeling kind of disappointed after I read it, because you see the premises of the Foxes, they're at odds, between the 2 brothers and even the mother. And they don't show right away who's the new Batman. We just see that it's Batman doing stuff, but we don't know who he is. And, there's some things going on, and you get to see, these 2 kids join this gang, and they have to go through initiation to try and prove their worth, like every other game. And once they go out into action, one of them hesitates, the other one wants to do it, but there's conflict involved, and then Batman gets involved and stops the fray, and then it leads to like an ending where you gotta read the next issue. But like I was, like I said earlier, I was like, as soon as you start to get into the story, it just ends, and you get 2 other backup stories that I'm like, man, I want more of the Batman one,
Yeah.
And that was, like I said, my disappointment. And I'm not the only one that felt that way. There was a couple of people that felt that for $8, give me more of the Batman. If you're gonna have a double-sized issue, you expect more of that story. And just the fact that DC has dumped this with a couple of books by having 1 or 2 extra stories in there because they don't want to put out all these different titles. But at the same time, they charge $8, and that $8 is just a stain whenever I see it, man. It's like I don't want to pay this shit, man.
Hey man, it's backbreaking, man. You look at the price of these books. I think we talked in our Facebook chat the other day, man, and Chris brought it up, man. Superman, damn $10.
Yeah, the Superman Worlds at War, whatever it's called. I was not expecting $9 when I picked it up. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a thick comic, you know what I'm saying? But I was surprised at the $9 price tag. Like I picked up my stack of comics and it was like almost $70, and I was like, hell, I'll just buy. Like,
and then,
it's just.
With the Batman, it's $8 just for the cover A.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it goes up $1 or $2 depending on which variant you get, and then even higher if you get the one that's so many that's sent to a shop. You know what I mean?
Right. If you get the incentive issue, of course, it's going to cost you a little bit more.
Right. And I can definitely say one thing. I agree with Puff. When I got that first book, I was reading it. I was like, okay, I like it. I like where it's going. I like it. And then, boom, I was like, what am I? What?
Whole nother book.
Like, what is this? What is this? Like, if every other title that they have is only gonna be, majority of them gonna be 2 episodes or 2 issues, why not just make them their own book?
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said. Like, why charge $8 for one book when you can actually flesh out each book separately? You can flesh out the book, as opposed to, like Sean said, you giving out half a book, and then you sitting there wondering, like, okay, now what the hell going on? You know.
And to make it worse, you know, you go to issue 2, and you go ahead and finish reading everything that had to do with the next Batman 2. You're like, well, is it gonna pick up where it left off with the other story? And no, it's a whole nother story.
Yeah, that threw me off too. I'm like, wait a minute, Gotham City Sirens is in this shit?
Right.
So
I was like, at least give me the option to buy those books. Don't just force feed it to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, I would have rather they did like do y'all remember with Rebirth, where they had that one thick book when it first debuted with the first issue. I would rather they do that and than to release a book. You know, this is Batman or whatever #1, and then you sitting there with a trilogy of books all in one book.
Right. I mean, I get where y'all are coming from. I look at it from a couple of different viewpoints, actually, because, you know, back in it's kind of to a degree, it's kind of a going back to the roots kind of thing, because you remember back in the 50s and 60s and 70s or whatever, comic books would always have, you know, the main story, and then they would have that bonus adventure of whatever other character, you know, on the side or whatever in the comic book. So that's kind of that throwback thing. But then also I look at it from the standpoint where DC has been trying, you know, like last year before last, they looked at, you know, sales figures and how many issues they're putting out every month. And so I see the concept of, we want to get these stories out. We also don't want to flood the market and have people, you know, that we're putting out too many comic books every month. You know, because look at Marvel's War of the Realms. There were 60 books in that entire story. You know, one-shots, tie-ins, standalones, and all this other stuff for one story. You know, and that's a lot every month. They were, you know, Marvel was putting out like 100 books during that time when War of the Realms was out, just for this one small story that was going on. So I see where DC's coming from by deciding to put it in where you're gonna get the Batman story, but then you're also gonna get this second comic book. You know, and yeah, it may be a little bit of being force fed to you as opposed to putting out a million, you know, individual issues for every individual title. You know, but like I said, that could be a bit much for some people who like to try to collect. Because we all know that we all have those one friends who try to read and collect every book that some company is putting out or whatever. So by doing that, you know, when you're looking at it, because there's the Justice League book has 3 stories in it. It's got the main Justice League story in it, and it's got a Justice League Dark story in the back, and I think there's one other story I think that's in the back of it also. So you're getting like 3 comic book stories in one book. You know, for the $6-7 that it's costing to get that issue. And the stories are good. They're flushed. You know, they're what I've read so far. I mean, because I've picked up everything so far from Future State because I wanted to see where it was all going, and the stories are decently put together. I will say that. You know, you're not getting. I know how some people feel that you're not getting the bang for your buck, but at the same time, you're also getting, you know, a little bit more of it. It may be a little force fed to you, but you are still getting a decent story. And then for Sean, it's on decent paper, unlike Marvel comic books.
I don't know, man. This new Batman #2 looked real wavy because I got the regular cover of Batman #2, and that shit was wavy as hell, man.
You that mine like
Yeah, mine hadn't came yet. I ordered mine online, so I'll wait.
I haven't got mine next on the stack for me to read. I haven't read it yet.
When you first get it, like, but the B cover, C cover, all them things look top notch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the deal with them changing the border colors on it?
I don't know. I've been trying to figure that out myself.
You know, issue 1 had the pinkish border, then 2 had the green border.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have a question for you, Chris. Since you collect all of them, have you read them all?
I haven't read this week's. Batman, the next Batman is the next one on the stack for me to read, and then all the ones that came out this week: Immortal Wonder Woman and Superman. But I've read Titans. Yeah, I've read Teen Titans, the first issue of Batman, first issue of Superman and Metropolis, first issue of Supergirl, and all them. I've read all them.
So are they intertwining? Because I only got the titles that I wanted to get. Like I got Flash, Batman, Harley Quinn, the Dark Detective, Nightwing, and Teen Titans. But I didn't know if all of them tied together.
They are tying together in a sense because a lot of stuff happens, especially the Batman books. Because when you look at the release schedule, Batman's also the only one of the few books that's getting 4 titles. Everybody else is only getting 2. Right. I think it's actually the one of the main Batman books is actually getting 4 issues, and everybody else is getting just 2 issues, just split out. But there's stuff that happens, like in the Titans book. There's actually something that they reference that happens in the second issue of the Flash, but the second issue of the Flash isn't out yet. You know, because when I was reading it, I was like,
I noticed that.
Yeah, I was like, the second issue of the Flash, what they're referring to. But now I'm interested because I want to see, you know, where it's gonna go and how it connects. The Batman books so far have definitely all tied together. Even the Titans with Nightwing, the Titans have their own stuff going on with the whole.
Right.
You know, Red X and the Deathstroke Nightwing costume.
Yo,
and they have a lot of.
I
love it. I love it though. It's dope. It's a cool looking costume, man. But I love that they actually are working to connect the stories instead of doing like big. It's all connected. Like the Titans is connected to the Flash, and the Flash connected to Wonder Woman. It's like no, Flash is connected to Flash. All the Batman books are connected to the Bat family. Like everything is staying self-contained within the worlds of each individual comic book. So it's not so much a matter of, even though Future State is an event that's happening across the entire DC universe, you don't have to, like what you asked, like you don't have to buy the issues you don't want to read and worry that you're going to miss something that ties all this together.
Right.
You know, you'll be able to just read just the Batman stuff and get all the story and everything you need without being like, man, I got to go pick up second issue of Immortal Wonder Woman to find out what they was talking. You ain't got to worry about none of that. So far as I've seen, none of that is happening. So it's all being self-contained and working really well together to tell the stories that they're putting out.
Cause I was afraid that it was gonna be, I can't remember what the storyline was, but you had to get you had to get Batman. This is all Rebirth, but you had to get Batman, you had to get Detective Comics, then you had to get Action Comic Teen Titans. Mm-hmm. There was another book that you had to get just to get all of those 5 stories to complete.
Right. The actual story.
Right. And I was like, I'm not gonna buy this because I don't read those other books.
Right.
You know, I feel real odd having no shade to matter or anything, but I feel real odd having Wonder Woman Rebirth in my collection, just one issue and it's just for one story. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. At that point, you might as well just wait for the trade paper or the omnibus and just read it all in. So you don't throw your collection off having a random comic book just for one small story insert.
Yeah. All right. I get you. We're going to go ahead. We're going to move away from Future State. We're going to head right on over. I have a question, man. I y'all forgive me, man. I completely forgot. Is Batwoman on there, man? I completely forgot.
Yes, it is, man. Ooh, man. I have watched it.
What's your thoughts on it, man? I completely forgot about it, man.
In one episode of season 2 for Batwoman, they have made the new Batwoman, Ryan Wilder, they have made her a better character and given her better motivation than everything that was done in season 1 with Ruby Rose as Batwoman and everything with Kate Kane and all of that. Like legitimately, like they tied her in one episode. They were able to tie her Batwoman into the mythos of the show and introduce a new villain at the same time. And they get her backstory is so great, and it blamed. Because like the problem with Kate Kane when they did it in season 1 was that okay, you knew she went to the military or whatever, but then she disappeared for 8 years, and then just shows back up in Gotham and mysteriously has all these skills and knows how to do all this stuff, and just with no explanation.
And has full access to Wayne Manor and all of his secrets and tech, and how the Batsuit already had boobs molded into it.
Right. Whereas with Ryan in the first episode, like they show you, like, yeah, she has a background in martial arts because there's some stuff that happened in her life that ends up right after she moves to the city that causes her to end up losing like her adopted mom and all kinds of other problems. And so then when she finds the Batsuit and puts it on, it's just like how it should have been with Kate Kane. She put on the suit and then pushed the button and was surprised at what happened because she didn't know how to do anything. Like she didn't know how to actually use the grapple. Like she used the grapple in one scene and like ends up just like swinging back and forth kind of like Spider-Man because she doesn't know how to use a grapple. Because the average person has no idea how to use a grappling hook like that. You know, so they do that. They do they give you that novice part of the story that you expect from somebody who's never been a hero, who's never been a vigilante. It's like, yeah, she knows martial arts, but just because you know Kung Fu don't mean you know how to beat up the Joker or stop Mr. Freeze. Like, that's not how that works. And they actually do that with her. And it makes her a way better character. She got more character development in her one episode than Kate Kane had her entire season. It's ridiculous. It's so much better.
X, have you had a chance to watch it?
Not yet. I'm actually glad that we're talking about it because I want to know, do I have to sit down and watch the rest of season 1 before I watch this one?
No. Do yourself a favor and just skip season 1. Don't even worry about watching it. Like the characters that are in the show from season 1, you know, they're there, but it's not necessary. To me, it's not necessary to watch. You can watch the first episode of season 2 and get the general idea about how season 1 went. Because they do a recap also at the beginning of the episode to give you like a recap of season 1. But like you're good. You'll be all right.
That's cool because I didn't even make it through half of the second episode of the first season.
It was rough.
I was done. Like I tried to give it a chance, but I was so done.
Yeah.
They did introduce the Batmobile though. She gets the Batmobile.
Does it have the red windows and everything?
No, not yet. Not in the first episode because it was like it was one of those things like it was hidden in the Batcave. Apparently, Bruce had locked the Batmobile away like everything else, and so
he got an eternal battery and alternator in the Batmobile.
Right?
Hey, man, he had a Tesla before there was Tesla.
I will say it is interesting. At the end of season 1, they introduced Tommy Elliott. They introduced Hush going into the end of season 1. Yeah, they brought him in, and then in season 2, in the first episode of season 2, they finished flushing out his part of the story. Like he came back into Gotham pretending to be Bruce because Bruce has been missing. So one of the other characters in the show helped him put on surgically made his face look like Bruce Wayne, and he pretended to be Bruce Wayne into the second season, coming into the show. So they actually introduced Bruce and confused the crap out of everybody because he ain't talked to nobody. He's been missing, you know, and it kind of goes a little. And they write out Ruby Rose in going into the end of season 1. Apparently, and this is just one of those things that they're fixing in the second season with better writers. But in the end of season 1, it was found out that the only thing apparently that can pierce the Batsuit is like a chunk of kryptonite. It's like a little sliver of kryptonite or whatever. And what they were doing was they were trying to work. Yeah, exactly. They were trying to work in a crossover between Batwoman and Supergirl to do like a world's finest crossover thing like they usually do.
So,
hey, now y'all see why I didn't watch that.
So, Catwoman's nails are laced with kryptonite now or something?
No,
Because
because
they
there's
cut
no
through Batman's suit on the regular.
right. But
You
this
know what
is
I'm
just a bat
saying?
suit.
They
This
laced
is
it
just a
with
bat
TW.
suit, right? So
But quick question:
yeah,
It's not.
How
Face
did they
it.
introduce Thomas Elliott as Hush when Bruce Wayne? They already keep in mind we
Bruce
done
been
did the
missing for 8
crossovers.
years.
Well, not only missing for 8 years, but when they did the crossover, they did Old Man Bruce because they had Kevin Conroy portray Old Man Bruce.
Different Earth.
Well, they
It wasn't the same Earth that Batwoman is from, that Kevin Conroy's Batman was from. Kevin Conroy's Batman in the crossover was technically from the Earth of Kingdom Come, because he was in the exoskeleton and everything.
well
Damn, they should have gave us Kingdom Come show, man.
Right.
they
We were close. I mean,
this is-
because Brandon Routh was the Kingdom Come Superman.
yeah, I remember that.
You know, everybody wanted him to get his own show.
I don't know why. Maybe with better acting. I mean, not acting.
Right.
Writing, because
Yeah.
he's decent. Well, I take that back. He's good at playing a quirky guy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't see him as a serious Superman. We got the little bit that we did in Superman Returns, but that was a joke because Bryan Singer directed that and he can't direct nothing. But I'm still trying to figure out how they wrote in Hush. Even after 8 years, Hush didn't stay around that long.
Right, exactly.
He did not last that long in the book. So
Yeah.
even when he returned, he still didn't last that long.
Yeah.
So within 8 years, he would have died, came back and died again.
The writing in the first season was hard because there were so many plot holes when you watch an episode that made like no sense. That was just ridiculous. Like you know, in the first season of Batwoman, it seemed like everybody knew that Kate Kane was Batwoman except for her dad, who was in charge of the private security force
Of the military.
Right.
Yeah.
He couldn't figure out that, you know. How you doing, Lady Fantastic?
Throwing on a red wig and can't nobody tell who she
Can't
is.
nobody figure out that that's Batwoman, yeah.
I'm still trying to get over how the bat suit had molded breast, but when it was supposed to be Batman suit.
Yeah. So, but they wrote her, to answer the question, they wrote out Ruby Rose in a plane crash. She went to National City to talk to Supergirl to get her permission to destroy the chunk of kryptonite, because she didn't want to just do it on her own. So she wanted to ask for permission to get rid of the kryptonite. And on the way back, the plane exploded because there was a problem with the engine. The plane explodes.
But was the plane and the engine laced with kryptonite?
She wasn't.
Did they have? Okay.
She wasn't in the bat suit on the plane. She didn't take the black plane. She literally took like a private jet. She took one of Bruce's private jets to National City. She didn't take the bat plane, but she took the bat suit
the
with
most
her.
important jet. You forget the most important jet in the whole series.
Right.
This is some of the stupidest shit I think I've heard in a while, man. I mean, this
And
is
so,
this is worse than Oliver Queen being the new Bruce Wayne.
Right. And so, and I will say it's so weird. They left it open because what happens is the plane crashes, and the new chick that becomes, Ryan, she becomes Batwoman or whatever. She finds a suit in the wreckage while she's trying to see if there's any survivors or whatever. And as the episode progresses, you find out that Kate Kane's body isn't found. So technically, the show is still open that they could bring Kate Kane back if they wanted to. Yeah.
You both facepalm at the same time.
Yeah. These are the sacrifices I make for y'all. I sit through these things.
Yo, I still appreciate it.
Hey, bro, we need to give him a round of applause, man.
He ain't lying. Yo, that is
the reconnaissance this man bring us from boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy me. Good
wow.
Almighty. Good God.
Like I started watching Arrow several seasons ago, and that still sounds way better than what you just described.
I don't know, because they were going to do the spinoff show from Arrow. It was going to be his daughter and the Black Canaries or whatever. It was going to be like Arrow and the Black Canaries. Some junk it was going to be named or whatever. But it got canceled before it even got a pilot episode.
Good.
They just went ahead and just decided not to worry about trying to do the spinoff.
Was one of the Canaries going to turn into Huntress or something? Because they done turned everybody else in the
Right.
All right, let's move on.
And Supergirl,
Ra's al Ghul fighting
All right,
Oliver Queen.
Oliver Queen, yeah.
all right, we can move on from no more Batwoman season 1 talk. We moving on from that. I'll give it a shot. I'll watch the second series. Give me something to watch. Godzilla versus King Kong trailer hit
Tomorrow.
Is it this? Did it come out? Is it came out
It's
yet?
tomorrow.
Okay,
Trailer drops tomorrow.
Okay, all right.
Trailer.
I thought I missed it. I was looking for it. I thought I missed it. Okay.
Full trailer drops tomorrow.
I heard somebody say King Kong has a dog call in the trailer. Now, I was like, man, bro was chained up, man. I mean, come on, it's King
Right,
Kong,
like he was chained up. Yeah.
I'm like, let's use common sense here. You know, King Kong is a savage. He's the savage, the original savage.
Exactly.
So I mean, fellas, this
Who
is
put it on him?
Hey man, Thanos, I reckon.
Thanos, yeah, you gonna have to get Galactus to do that. What are you talking about?
Peter Jackson from that horrible Kong movie he made. Peter Jackson
man.
put it on.
Hey, Puff Daddy did it, man. That song.
Hey man, shut up. That's Godzilla, but
You
shut
can hate me
up.
now, baby. You can
Great, that giant.
Oh man, fellas, it's
What's up with Godzilla look like Minecraft? A Minecraft figure in that movie. That was terrible.
Why did he bring up the Puff Daddy thing? I completely forgot about that. Now
you
got
forgot
me.
about that Godzilla.
That song stuck in your head.
God, man.
Green and black cup, man. You forgot about your big gulp. That was. I forgot who was pushing it. Was it Papa John's or Pizza Hut? Somebody was pushing the hell out of it.
Somebody was pushing it.
I don't think it was Papa John at that time.
It might have been Pizza Hut.
It was either Pizza Hut or Domino's.
With the personal pan pizza.
It was probably Pizza Hut then, yeah.
It had to be Pizza Hut then.
Yep. So, fellas, are we excited, man? Are you excited?
Matthew Broderick.
Or you just like, you know, it is what it is. We're just waiting.
I'm excited for the trailer, to be honest. I mean, I love the King of Monsters movie, you know, and I enjoyed the Skull Island movie, even though that was pretty much a King Kong versus Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it. I still haven't watched that movie.
Oh man, you should. It's not bad. It's good.
I mean, I was kind of turned off because Jack Black was in it.
Yeah, Jack Black will do that to you.
It's only I almost didn't watch the new Jumanji movies because he was in it, but the movies ended up being
Wait a
good.
minute, which King Kong you talking about, Jack Black?
He was
Skull Island.
He was in the Peter Jackson one, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in the Peter Jackson one, not Skull Island.
I thought he was in Skull Island.
Oh.
No, he was in the Peter Jackson.
Hell. Okay, my bad. I stand corrected. Then it must be what's his name? Loki.
Yeah, Loki.
Might be one thing. Okay, all right.
Yeah, he was in
all right. And now that you mention it, I do remember Jack Black and the other one. That's probably another reason why I was done with King Kong. So I'll just sit there and watch him play the air guitar in every movie, and it ain't got nothing to do with the movie.
You know, speaking of trailers, we kind of try to swing the topic. Where the fuck is my Mortal Kombat trailer, man?
Man,
you ain't like the Steels?
I mean, that's cool, but
I got a chance to see my boy Kung Lao. That's all I needed, and he looked good. He looked good.
I want to see a trailer, man. I was like, you know,
I mean, so I'm gonna jump in on this right quick. I actually don't want to see a trailer. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see a trailer because it's coming out within less than 2 months.
I will tell you,
maybe 3 months. Just give it to me.
I tell you this, one of those steel shots, the one with Jax. I saw a lot of folk complaining about Jax. They're like, well, Jax got the arms already, man. It's like, well,
so.
First Mortal Kombat. I'm like, he actually looks like fucking Jax with some sense.
I just need them to clean him up.
He
looks a little rough. The still didn't do him justice. I know the Still's, the movie's not done yet or whatever, but them arms looked mighty 1990.
What if it's the prototype? What if those are the actual prototypes? You know what I'm saying? And we ain't by the end of it, we get the full fledged like.
I'll be okay with that. I'll be perfectly okay as long as they look better, because them mighty rough looking cybernetic arms he had there.
I just think in that screenshot,
T800 on.
Right, like them some James Cameron Terminator arms he got on.
Man.
I just given technology nowadays, we need better.
It looks like he's fighting Shah. Well, he looks like he's trying to stop Shah.
It does look like Shah Khan's hammer, but
yeah.
Why go straight for Shah Khan and skip over Shang Tsung?
Because Shang Tsung's been done.
Yeah, so is Liu Kang.
Yeah, but Liu Kang's like the Captain America of Mortal Kombat.
But you know what, man? I guess with this, you're gonna probably get some multi-layered stuff in there. I think you're gonna probably see peaks of folks here, man, here and there. You know, you shot. I wouldn't doubt Shang Tsung is in. I wouldn't even doubt what's Quan Chi and Shinnok.
I wish they would have just did Legacy and turned that into a movie.
Right. The
Legacy series was great. That would be the one with Michael
now, I take that back. I know why they end up not turning into like progressing it any further, because what's his name? The guy that played Kano, you know, he ended up dying. So it kind of killed that, you know what I mean? But
right.
They were going in the right direction with that. Dark Liu Kang too. Man.
Somebody was complaining out on the forum, and somebody was like, well, Kano doesn't have his eye, and I was like, y'all not looking at this picture the right way.
He wasn't born with it.
I was like, clearly he, you know,
y'all don't see the scars on his face leading up to what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I was like, no, y'all kind of going a little bit overboard. I said, you know,
they expect these guys to come in straight out looking like the characters in the games.
No substance, no nothing.
Yeah, it's actually going to be a story that leads up to them becoming who they are. You know, that was the one thing I liked about when they came back with the Mortal Kombat game was the storylines.
Yeah,
you know, that you play in the story mode and how they became who they were.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's what. As a matter of fact, that was probably one of the best. Was that 9?
Yeah,
that was 9. Yeah, that was probably one of the best laid out ones.
I was talking about with Freddy.
Yeah, that was the one that did the complete reset, but it actually, like Sean said, it actually gave you a complete full-fledged story, which is carrying on into.
It brought you back to the MK series.
Yeah.
Right.
If you notice, that's why they called it Mortal Kombat or MK. They didn't call it Mortal Kombat 9. They just called it MK as if it was a true rebirth, which it was. Because without that, I mean, we wouldn't have X or 11, which are great games to me. But it did start with MK9 basically.
It breathed life back into the series.
Yeah.
Right.
If people just need to chill out, man. I mean, be patient. I mean, hell, we getting fatalities in the movie, man. We fucking getting fatalities.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
That's a
real fatalities.
Yeah, 4 low kick, 4 down, 4 high punch. There's a reason why I put that.
I don't think we're gonna be let down how Scorpion died against Johnny Cage in the first one.
Oh man, we won't get.
You know, I was so hyped when I saw him shoot the flame, and then he sliced him with a lit up shield, and then had a nerve to do the friendship at the end of it.
Hey, my boy bleed. Hey, he was bleeding lava, man.
All that mess, man.
Pirate boat, man. Pirate boat.
And that was one of the best fight scenes ever.
What about Sub-Zero? A bucket of water, man.
Hey man, the element that brings life.
I liked that the Liu Kang versus Reptile fight.
That's the best part of the movie.
It was good until the bicycle kick.
Yeah,
now, when we were little, the bicycle kick was dope because we had never seen it. We finally saw it on the screen, but when you watch it now, you're like,
oh, you can't watch that first Mortal Kombat movie now, because then you might get yourself cancer. That movie is not good.
Nah, I still watch it. I still watch it.
Hey man, I watch it all the time.
If you give me a choice between that movie and the second one, I'm watching the first one all the time.
Animality.
I watch that reptile fight all day. I just want to watch a reptile reptile jump out that motherfucking wall and knock the shit out of.
But you know the same dude. If I'm not mistaken, the same dude that did Scorpion did Reptile. Because
Yeah,
if you watch Scorpion and Johnny Cage fight, Scorpion was way faster than he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about, he was quick, and when he stomped Johnny head into the ground, done. He won. That was a brutality all in itself. But you go back how quick Reptile was when he first jumped through the wall.
Man.
Yeah.
Please.
I'll be happy so long as Goru isn't claymation this time.
That's another thing too, man. You bring up, we got world class special effects now, man. So I don't want any excuses. We got world class special effects. Hey, Sean, just imagine we could have got a real ghost. Well, that's something else that's on the docket tonight too. Ghostbusters got pushed back.
You don't have to have the greatest world class special effects. The Legacy doesn't have world class special effects. When you look at Mortal Kombat Rebirth, the little short that they did on YouTube, that didn't have no special effects, and it was amazing.
The difference was dedication. Stuff made by fans who loved what they were doing.
I still like that old Michael Jai White trailer, man. That shit was.
That's what I'm talking about. Rebirth.
Okay.
Yeah.
That shit was the fucking bomb.
Man, the way they did Baraka, man.
Man.
But that is the beauty. We're at a point where you can make cutting edge tech. With the cutting edge technology we have now, it is possible to live out your fanboy dreams. So if you're disappointed by the way something looks, there's a million different ways that you can do your own version. Yeah. To put yourself out there to show them that, hey, look, this is what y'all could have done, but you didn't. Because come on, the commercial for the iPhone 12 is basically a commercial telling you to shoot movies with the phone.
To add on to what you're saying, because what you're saying is absolutely right. I'm gonna take it to a different franchise, but it's gonna tie into this. The Power Rangers that was on YouTube.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yo, the greatest 13 minutes of my life.
Yep.
Man.
I remember when I first watched that shit, I was like,
man,
all right, these guys need to do a full length.
Right. They need to do that. Yeah. And then for them to come out with the Saban Power Ranger movie we got, it was decent for what it was, but
you look
it wasn't like that.
Right. This is what a bunch of fans like, because there's the kick again, like you were saying, X. There was, I don't know if it's still up, but there was a Kickstarter that got done for The Legend of the White Dragon, which was a movie that was an alternate timeline for the Power Rangers, and it was done by fans, and they reached out and got Johnny Young Box to come back.
Talking about the one that led to Dakin at the end.
Yeah, and they got Jason David Franks to come play.
I'm sorry.
To come play the part 2. They got 2 actual Power Rangers to come be in this fan made movie, and they set up a Kickstarter. And they made a trailer, made a whole, and it's like we there's no excuse that if a bunch of friends sitting around in their house, Zoom calling each other, working out a script, put together a movie, and then do a Kickstarter, and they get 10, 20, 30 grand to make a movie. And this $30,000 low budget, in the sense of Hollywood, comes out looking better than what this $200 million movie that y'all put out in the theater. It don't make no sense. Like, look at X-Men.
Because it's all heart.
It's all about heart. They're not doing it for the paycheck. They're doing it for the love.
Right.
I was for the make y'all laugh. I was up last night watching some stuff on Disney, and Al is in the comment. I actually watched Al. I finally watched Shazam last night, so I had to catch up with you on that, man. But it wasn't bad, man. It wasn't that bad at all.
It was very entertaining.
Yeah,
it was very entertaining.
If anything, it was hilarious. It was a couple parts that was hilarious. So I don't know what folks was talking about. Like, that movie was bad. I was like, no, Shazam was fucking good.
Yeah, the only thing I will say is they could have shaved off about 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I agree. They could have left off the family part.
Yeah, they could have shrunk that down. But
that's DC's problem with ending movies.
That's
they don't know how to end a movie.
Well, Xavier, that's what worries me about Mortal Kombat, man, is that, are we gonna have this? Me and you talk about this all the time. That third act problem.
Yeah.
Are we gonna look up, man, and Goro is losing a fight to Johnny Cage on a boat in the middle? I don't
think Ed Boon is gonna allow that to happen. Just like with Todd McFarlane is gonna be very hands on whenever we get this new Spawn movie. he said, I don't think they want to go that route because everybody that goes to video games, the two worst movies that were out were Spawn and Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Right.
You know, well, it's some other ones, but those are the main ones that come to your thought because they were in the movie theaters. I mean, when you sit there and you have such a passionate group following these games and want to see it on the big screen, you know, the guys that are sitting there making billions off of us, they're like, yo, I want to give back to my fans because without them, we wouldn't have this. So I think they're going to step in and won't allow Warner Brothers to, quote unquote, strong arm, because I guarantee you, Ed Boon would take this and go independent if it came to that.
Yeah. I mean, Netflix would easily go, hey.
Man, Netflix, Amazon,
yeah. Hulu.
Amazon already hate HBO. No, it ain't going to be on Hulu because that's Disney, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I forgot who Disney Hulu.
Is it Disney that owns Hulu? Because I noticed.
Yeah.
If you notice, a lot of times when you see new movies come up on Hulu, those exact same movies come out on Amazon Prime at the same time.
Hey, man.
So it's a partnership, but Hulu is owned by Disney. Amazon is not, but you know they have a. But it's like neither one on like HBO, neither one on like Netflix.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you try to do what you can to kind of weed them out, even though it's crazy that Amazon don't like Netflix, but they never mind. I'm thinking about YouTube. I'm thinking about Cobra Kai, but never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's all the damn same, man. We paying subscriptions for attendance. Yeah. It's all the fucking
right.
You know, only thing I do wish is that Disney just need to hide the X-Men section on Disney Plus.
Leave the animated series.
Yeah, leave the cartoons. Take the movie.
The cartoons are on what? Netflix right now?
No,
it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, but it's also on Netflix.
Oh, word?
Yeah,
I didn't see it on Netflix.
Unless they've taken it off. The last time I was on Netflix, they have Wolverine.
They got Wolverine. They have the X-Men.
They have the X-Men. Last time I was on Netflix,
they got Wolverine and the X-Men, not the animated.
Oh, okay. All right. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, X, but I'm saying that you know what? I'm gonna check Netflix right now while we're sitting here.
Yeah, I'm gonna look too.
Because I could have swore I added both of them to my list. Yeah, there it is. They have there's the animated X-Men is on Netflix.
When did they do that?
Yeah, because I thought everything was on Disney Plus related to X-Men.
Nope.
Not everything, not yet. They slowly getting it.
Hey, is Luke Cage still on Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's Wolverine. Wolverine's on there too.
I hadn't watched Netflix in a while, man. I've been so into the Disney and everything. I went back and watched The Mandalorian last week. I watched it and I had to go back and watch it again to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
But all right. So speaking of HBO, X is brought up. HBO is developing a Game of Thrones prequel.
I'm like beating a dead horse.
And I'm just like, what the fuck can you do?
They've been talking about that.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to figure out
what else.
That's my problem with that, man.
What else did it tell?
They talking about what's gonna lead up to the thrones and all the families and this, that, and the other.
I really don't like when they do that, man. Like after you done did a top tier series, and the last season got a lot of hate. Now you want to do a prequel, and I remember talking to my mother about it because she was a big fan of the Games of Thrones. She always feared getting us to watching these shows season by season because she like, man, she don't know how long she's gonna last. Like, I might die this year, and I don't want to get more hooked on those shows. Like, so they're not gonna hook me on the new one. And with this prequel, she says she ain't watching it.
Yeah.
So I just don't like when they want to do a prequel out there, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. That's like when people say, well, they should do a prequel of The Wire. I'm like, bro, it's been so long. Leave
it alone.
Aired that I don't even.
What?
Even if David Simon is behind it, I'm like, I don't know if it's going to be as great as the original. So
what would be the premise behind it?
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying here with this.
Probably the rise of Avon and all that stuff, but I just don't want to see it.
So what they gonna go back? They gonna do a prequel before they had beepers and burner phones.
Right.
Hey, man, they're going back to 19.
This is gonna be all three-way.
No, this is gonna be 1975 at like old casinos.
So it's gonna be Shaft.
Right. Like it's gonna be
Shaft and Truck Turner.
If they do a prequel of The Wire, do it on the pastor who was actually a real gangster in the 80s.
like what are we doing here? Like what is the point?
Night. I'll talk about. Oh man, yeah, The Wire, a prequel to The Wire. No sir, no way, no how.
Plus, The Wire wasn't.
Didn't make no sense.
But The Wire wasn't The Wire after Stringer Bell. It wasn't the same when they went to when they went to Marlowe.
Stringer Bell had to go though. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I get that. I get it. I get that. But Stringer Bell was that dude outside of Omar.
To me, Stringer was that dude. But when Avon got locked up and it was focused on Marlowe, you lost all the personality that Avon's crew had.
True. That's why I didn't like it.
Serious. And yeah, Marlowe was. I only watched it for because The Wire has so many great characters that I could care less about Marlowe, even if he was savage. But Avon's crew just had personality, man. Like I love eBay and all them guys.
What? What?
Yeah.
Man, I mean, what was Michael B. Jordan's name on that show, man? What was his name?
Wallace.
Yeah.
Wallace.
Man, that whole crew. The whole crew. Now, I'm telling you who I did not like on that show. The white cop, the bald-headed dude that was with Gabriel, Father Gabriel.
Yeah, I know you're talking.
You know who I'm talking about? The partner, not damn, I can't remember none of their name now. Was it Trekkie? No, it wasn't Trekkie. Now that I'm thinking about it though, hey, what's her name? Kima? Yeah, she can get it right now. She can get it right now.
Never went
when they show her and her old lady, boy. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey man, shows like The Wire, man, it's just like one of those just leave it alone. I'm sorry for y'all young folks that did not.
Yes, that's who it was. I can't stand him. Herc,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. He was an asshole from beginning to end.
He tried so hard to be black, man. I was like, man, sit down. Somebody shoot him. Instead of getting the kid to shoot her over on the stove.
The funny thing was, I didn't like Herc or Carver, but at least Carver had some growth to his character to the point where you actually liked him towards the end of the series. Herc stayed the same for the whole show, and it's like, fuck this dude.
And he stayed getting them because of him. They always stayed behind the 8 ball. Some stupid rookie mistake that he made every time they got close, killed it.
That camera that Marlowe stole.
I'm still mad. God, we do a whole show on The Wire.
You know what?
Right, I'm down for that.
We'll have to.
Go sit there and do Omar like that.
So for those who don't know, next month is Black History Month, and so next month our shows will be themed around African American topics, shows, and pop culture. So this is what y'all just gave me an idea tonight. So
y'all gonna have to skip me on the higher learning conversation because I go in a little too in depth on that one. Hey, I'm gonna have to say the name on my brother.
Yep. So we'll revisit this next.
Hey, and I never would have thought The Wire would make me hate Method Man.
Yo.
Oh, man.
I was so glad Charles Benjamin.
He was so dry in that show.
He was just getting off the ground, man, and that man.
M-E-T-H-O-T grind.
Hey man. Oh man. All right,
yo.
Let's move on here, fellas. We're gonna do a rapid fire on this topic right here. Has anybody seen the new Invincible trailer? I have not seen it.
Mm-mm.
Okay, I know it comes out in March. It is what it is. I'll watch it when it comes out. So yeah. All right, moving on. This is a topic that I wanted to cover. I want to give a shout out to Al. I saw this on his IG feed. It was either today or yesterday. This was a topic that I was going to talk about initially, but then they went back and changed it. So I was like, you know what?
Like I
They're
said,
going to get the smoke. They were about to get with it. Man, I was smoke tonight. I was like, this is the shit I be talking about. But they went back, and I guess somebody called. I guess Remo made a phone call over the next few days. Was like, hey man, y'all might want to fix this shit before it get to Saturday night, because Matt gonna go in on y'all ass. But I still gonna go in on y'all ass, because see, this is the kind of shit that drive me crazy. These game companies, man, they think we stupid. They think everybody dumb. We sitting at home, bro. Folks are in the middle of a pandemic. They're looking at the news. And you say, hey, we raising prices. What? For what? For who? For what? And then when you get the backlash, oh, well, they Michael Jackson moonwalking. They going back to what's the game? What's the moonwalker on Sega Genesis? Was it Sega Genesis? Where you go to the piano and you roll back? Yeah. I mean, hey Sony, y'all need to be doing the same shit too. Sitting there listening, because people get tired of this shit, man. People are getting tired of getting pillaged in the wallet. People are tired of this shit. We're in a pandemic.
What's Sony got to do with it?
Well, I'm just saying in general, video game in general. People need to take a lesson that your consumers are not dumb. So when y'all say this stuff, and when you have these, what it is they got somebody that's 22 that they graduated from UGA's MBA program. They got their first job, and they did a presser, and they came out, and so now they got to go back and backtrack whenever they talk. So I want y'all to know, man, that this is a new media age where people see shit and react in real time. So when you say that you're gonna raise prices, or there's a product that people don't think that lives up to par, they're going to say something about it. And also, I'm going to throw this in there too, since we are on a YouTube channel, and they need to stop this shit with the YouTube channels about fair use. Hey man, y'all getting free advertising. You got guys on YouTube that sitting out here saying, hey, we're gonna review your product, we pushing your shit, and then y'all flag their channel. That's some bullshit.
Yep.
That's some bullshit. You know, I've seen 2 or 3 guys. Tyrone Magnus was one of the guys. He got lit up over humming some damn music. This is ridiculous.
Humming
the music.
Humming a song.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. That we're
somebody with 10 million subscribers.
10 million. Woo!
That's easy. Easy free pub.
So
you would think
these companies need to get with modern times, man, and realize, hey, people ain't having this shit in 2021. 2020 was enough. We're not dealing with this shit in 2021. So, you know, Sean, y'all thoughts on?
I can see if Xbox would have raised the price $10. If you raise the price, you get a little backlash. But if you raise it $10, I mean, that's what Sony did years ago. You know, they took it from $50 for a year to 60. 50 to 60. But when you sat down and started doing the math on, you're like, okay, it's only $10. If they would have did that, then yeah, I mean, because even though I'm not an Xbox fanatic, you know what I mean, I have essentially paid for every console except for the new one. But Xbox Live has always been way better than anything Sony's had online as far as gameplay. And that's what made the Xbox what it was, to be honest with you, was the online gameplay. So why try to hurt those customers by doubling the price?
And when you deal with Xbox fans, and this is definitely not a knock on Xbox fans at all, what I'm about to say, but those are some of the most loyal of the loyal. And with them,
let me tell you,
from the bottom up, I'm here to tell you, man, Xbox fans,
yo,
started from the bottom.
I ain't knocking Georgia fans, but Xbox fans might be more loyal than any SEC team fan out there, because you mentioned Sony to a true Xbox fan, bro. You get every single stat about every single thing that came out, and even when they wrong, they will still sit there and stand behind it. Like, I mean, you know, I mean, Halo, bro. It's just one game, but hey, I ain't knocking them. Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. Sean, your thoughts on price hiking? I mean, you would think they would learn from Netflix. I mean, Netflix is like the
nobody enjoys a price hike. You know, and when you see the hike that Xbox did, it's like, what the fuck were you thinking? You know,
and what are you giving me?
Exactly. It's like you paying for this stuff, and it's always been the case with Xbox that they had this shit behind the paywall. Like that was the one thing that I didn't like about 360 is that a lot of the features were behind that paywall of Xbox Live. That you needed Xbox Live. It's like you didn't have to just say, okay, I could use certain features on it and not have to subscribe. No, you needed Xbox Live to use every feature on it.
Yeah.
And that always was bothersome. That was a red flag for me even then with Xbox because I was like, man, I shouldn't have to pay for a service. Like, if I'm going to pay for the online game service, fine. But if I gotta pay it to use the other features when I can use them on the PS3 for free,
to do an update.
Yeah, I'm like, no.
Yeah. Insanity, man.
Gonna make you create an avatar. Come on, bro. That should be option here. Like, I should have the option to make my own avatar if I want to or not, man.
Yep. Yeah, so when I saw the backlash they were receiving, and everybody was in the gaming community was just slagging Xbox, and then Xbox, we apologize. That was a bad move on our part. We hope that going back will reconnect with the gamers and all. I'm like, look at y'all, man. Y'all couldn't even wait. Y'all couldn't even wait over 24 hours. Going back.
I bet the kid who came out with their price is no longer with Microsoft right now.
Hey man, I'm telling you, man,
it's the same thing when Don Matrix said, if you don't like the whole DRM and stuff, well, keep use your Xbox 360. They're like, we're trying to sell a new console, and you gonna say that shit? Get the fuck out, bro.
Hey man, it's every generation that Xbox has, they've had something that they got them some backlash. Like when the
caskets.
Yeah.
You had the caskets, and you had the when the
Xbox One came out, you had to log in every single day. Every single day. What if I'm on vacation? I don't want to take this heavy ass console with me everywhere I go. You know what I'm saying?
And then you're forced to have to connect, man. It's like
no game sharing.
Oh yeah, that was the other one.
No game sharing.
That was it. Yeah, that was it. That was the one I was thinking of.
I look at
pass-through was great.
I look at it as one. I am an Xbox fan. I mean, I enjoy my PlayStation also, but I'm an Xbox fan because all the stuff you guys are talking about were problems. I will wholeheartedly admit that, but they are also problems that were fixed. With the 360, when they started trying to make people have to have gold in order to be able to use their Netflix, it lasted like what 3-4 months before all of us to have gold to use Netflix no more. They got rid of it. They stopped doing that. But as far as the price hike is concerned, I don't think people were so much upset about the price as much as the time being cut in half. Because it was $60, but now I'm only getting 6 months, whereas before I was getting a year.
Yeah.
You know?
As
far as the price hike
doubling
itself,
the price.
Right. And as far as the price hike itself, I mean, I look at it as it took them 10 years to do it for one. The last time they raised the price of Xbox Live was in 2010. Like, it's taken them 11 years before they decided to even raise the price.
What was it before?
They should have never decided it.
Was it $50 back then?
Yeah, it started out 50.
Yeah, it was $50, yeah.
What is it on PlayStation? Is it 50 on PlayStation 2?
It's 60 now. They
followed
suit. They followed the Xbox suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was free, then it went to 50, then it went to 60, but it's been 60 for years.
I remember when we didn't have to pay shit.
Yeah, but we also got hacked.
Right. PlayStation would get hacked left and right.
We also got hacked.
You get what you pay for.
And you had a shit ton of glitches. First, let me tell you something, man. With the PlayStation free online gameplay, man, that was the rise of the glitch era right there. You couldn't play a game online without getting glitched. And you had to know the glitches in order to stop the glitches. You know what I'm saying? I got to go to school just to learn how to stop somebody from cheating me.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But now, I mean, you still get glitches all across the board now because hell, games are glitching now on his on his own.
Cyberpunk.
But
Cyberpunk.
yo, man, it's bad when Best Buy decides, hey, look, this game is so bad. This is the first game in the history that we will allow you to get a full refund, not exchange, a full refund. And I was one of them because I bought it for Junior for Christmas, and he looked at me. He said, "Dad, it ain't there." I said, "All right, son, I'll take it back." All this build up to that trash.
Hey man.
But with the Xbox, I mean, you can't just. You got to gradually raise the price if you're gonna do it. Don't just, hey, 6 months, $60.
$60.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm glad.
Over 12 months, $120. Think about it. It's a deal. No, it ain't.
No,
So slap in the fucking face.
That was a CGC slab 9.8. If you look hard.
Shouldn't me. That was a 11.0. Hell, shit don't even exist.
Right, 11.5 yellow label. All right, so fellas, this is gonna be another quick rapid fire one. Morbius, Ghostbusters, Uncharted are all pushed to 2020. That's
everything got pushed back.
2022. Excuse me. So, that's that. I'm sure nobody wants to spend an elaborate amount of time on that. However, on the next two topics, there will be some time spent, especially on the last topic. There will be a lot of time spent on that last topic. But for this topic, this one is for Chris. Chris dropped in our Facebook chat. He said, Miles Morales is getting a Clone Saga. And I knew by the tone, I said, well, I'm going to let Chris have the floor because this sounds like one of the Chris's classic rants. So,
and
Chris, your thoughts, brother. Have at it, man. Have at it, brother.
Miles Morales is his own character. I want to start by saying that. I want people to understand I'm not hating on Miles Morales. I mean, I hate Spider-Man, but I'm not hating on Miles. Peter Parker, to me, is a trash comic book character because it has been 60... And as much as I love the X-Men, they've done X-Men the exact same way. It's been 60 fucking goddamn years, and you still fighting the same damn fight. You simple-minded motherfuckers. Why haven't you learned nothing? Like, it is ridiculous. And now here we are looking at Miles Morales, and he's going to get a Clone Saga because it went so well for Peter Parker to have one. Let's get a black guy Clone Saga Too. Why not? Well, let's go ahead and just throw this out there, and let's see what happens when his world gets turned upside down. Because there ain't already a million spiders, because we've seen the Spider-Verse. We've been to Shattered Dimensions. We've seen that there's 1,000 different versions of Spider-Man, and he's the only black one for the part. And now we're going to clone him and throw him to the wolves to see what happens. Because why not? Because, we're the house of ideas. It just happens to be the same 6 ideas that we're going to use when we put comic books out there. So, enjoy it, because it's probably going to be Miles Morales Clone Saga, and then it's going to have like 12 tie-ins, 1 main book, and then like 30 different million alternate covers for this comic book. And it's all going to be pointless because in 6 months, something's going to happen and everybody's going to forget that there was clones of Miles. It's just all going to disappear. We're just going to forget it. Because let's not forget, Marvel's already announced their Heroes Reborn or whatever, 2021. And we got Dr. Doom wearing
I didn't even put that on the I forgot about that. I didn't even put that on the list tonight.
Man, come on.
I can't even believe they celebrating Heroes Reborn, man.
What are we doing here? What is really going on? Because this is all just ridiculousness. Miles Morales getting the Clone Saga is totally unwarranted and totally unneeded. How many? Like, what is the point? Like, what? At the end of it all, from the Spider Saga, when Spider-Man went through his Clone Saga, we ended up with what? The Scarlet Spider, Ben Reilly, who was, and the
best thing out of that whole thing. I'll just be honest. I like the Ben Reilly more than the whole fucking Clone Saga.
His suit looked better, and he was just a better character. He had better character development in the end of it all. He was a way better Spider-Man. But we still ended up with just Peter Parker at the end of it. So now we're, nothing for the best analogy for Spider-Man is that Spider-Man is Marvel's Batman.
Oh, damn it! You stole my son.
Batman.
Hey, just without being a millionaire, because he'll never get to that status.
No. He was a billionaire when Doc Ock took over his body.
I was gonna say, but it wasn't him. It wasn't him.
That wasn't Peter.
But
it took Doc Ock to make his money.
When Peter took back his body, he didn't know what the hell he do, and he lost it all.
And that's why I say he's a trash character that they don't know what to do with. Because they made it, they literally showed you that his greatest villain was better at being him than he is at being him.
And that's why I love the Superior Spider-Man. And when they went back to Peter, I'm like, man, y'all going back to the status quo of Peter, which Marvel and DC does so many times when they do a complete change. They go back to the original character, and it's the same stories over and over and over again. It
made no sense.
The Superior Spider-Man was refreshing. I loved that shit. And what Doc Ock Spider-Man did to Black Cat was fucking hilarious. Man, he beat her ass and said, "Yo, cops, take her away."
He was a totally better Spider-Man than Peter Parker was the entire time. And it was ridiculous that he spent all this time, he built up a company, made him a millionaire, made him almost as rich as Tony Stark. And then literally it seemed the moment Peter Parker got his body back and got his life back, it all just fell apart. It all just came apart. He didn't go on patrol like Doc Ock had set up. He didn't use none of the gadgets that would create. It all just fell apart. Like Peter
go back to being a teacher or something?
He kept running the company, but the company started losing money. He had to bring in
He started watching cars. He
had to bring in Aunt May to help him run the company because he didn't know what he was doing.
Don't even get me started with Aunt May because I wish she stayed dead. I love Issue 400 was a tearjerker for me when I read that. But when I saw they brought her back in the final chapter, I was done with Spider-Man. I stopped reading Spider-Man because I'm like, why the fuck are we going back to Aunt May? Is she still alive? Like, she could have been dead. I'm like, no, I can't even stand her no more, man.
Not just alive, but then she's alive, and then she marries J. Jonah Jameson's dad.
And bro, I said she got shot after Civil War, and I'm like, all right, this time for Aunt May to go. No, they gonna have Peter say, I need to save her, so I'm gonna make a deal with the devil, get rid of my marriage, so Aunt May could be. What the fuck kind of sense does that make?
Right.
Come on, bro. You gonna get rid of your marriage just to continue Aunt May's old wrinkled life? Get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Let's move to the next topic, bro.
It's dumb. Let's not even talk about the fact, since with the Clone Saga and the millions of different Peter Parkers, y'all do realize that there's actually a dimension in which Uncle Ben is Spider-Man, and doing all this stupid spider stuff. It's like it's so ridiculous with all the spider stuff. It's like no matter what you do, exactly. It was the last great Spider-Man story because it is so ridiculous now. And Miles getting the Clone Saga is just going to be such a waste of paper.
He doesn't need a Clone Saga, like you said, man.
He doesn't.
There's so many variants. Even Ultimate Spider-Man did their Clone Saga.
Larry is driving right now. He probably crashed. Like, how dare y'all talk about Marvel?
No, he might actually be in agreement on this. He even said Spider-Man better.
Look, I love Spider-Man. I just came off of 366 days of posting Spider-Man on Instagram. Okay, so I do love the character, but I can see why Chris hates him because of the character has not evolved and they keep going back to the same routines over and over again. And I'm like, man, fuck this shit sometimes. I'm like, come on, Peter. That's why I wasn't fond of the movies. Because they kept going back to the Teenage Spider. And I'm like, I'm over Teenage Spider. I'm over that shit. I want new stuff with adult Spidey.
Like Peter Parker married with a kid, but you still taking pictures of Spider-Man to pay the rent. Man, get the fuck out of here. You ain't living in New York. You ain't living in New York, and I don't care how crappy your apartment is.
No, man. I can tell you, he damn sure ain't living in New York taking pictures of newspaper like that. I can tell you that.
You ain't living in no brownstone, Peter, taking pictures of Spider-Man, paying the bill. That it ain't happening. It ain't believable. It's. I get comic books are supposed to be, fantastic and escape and all that, but damn it, there's some things that just are too far out for people to just believe, and that's one of them. Like Peter Parker ain't paying the bills, taking pictures of Spider-Man. It just ain't. It ain't happening. And Miles Morales' Clone Saga is going to be quite possibly one of the biggest wastes of comic book production in God knows what. Like the Miles Morales Spider-Man Clone Saga is going to be, in my opinion, the equivalent to the E.T. video game. That shit's going to need to get buried in a bunker somewhere and forgot about.
Yo,
it's going to be bad.
I forgot all about it. You said it just then.
You're looking at somebody that got a lot of those Clone Sagas from the 95, 96 run. So I went through all that crap, and like I said, I stuck with it because I love Ben Reilly's character development. But man, when they killed him in issue 75 and went back to Peter, I was so fucking mad.
I'm calling it right now that it's going to be almost exactly like the original Clone Saga.
I'm kind of embarrassed to have all these Spider-Man pops behind me now. Great day.
Yeah, man.
There we go.
The super hustle. He's been
All right,
getting by on the super hustle.
So since we're in the mode of ranting, we get ready for it. We're gonna go ahead. WandaVision!
Man.
WandaVision has debuted and the critics are out. And not only are the critics out, but the casuals who know nothing about the
filthy casuals
are out as well. And I will start this rant tonight. Xavier, this is, you my boy, this excludes you. This, I know you have your thoughts on it, but I'm talking to the casuals. I'm going to the casuals. All y'all folk that you went to the movie theater and you saw Infinity War, you saw Black Panther, and you saw Endgame. The scholars of online Marvel. The scholars who know more about the comic books than we do. And we all have been collectively reading these books for over 30, 35 plus years. You tell us, hey man, the Black Panther came into an existence by this, that, and over yonder. And then you make your casual friends think you know what the hell you're talking about. But then when you get in front of us or you get in front of somebody on somebody else's panel, you look like a total jackass.
Yep.
This is to the casual fan. Keep your mouth shut. Tune into the Comic Hall and Roundtable discussion throughout the years. Go back 4 years. Watch Stay Pub 1983, chatting with the comic community at 2 or 2:30 every Saturday. Watch Comics with Bueller. Subscribe to Comics Explained, which if you want to get the cusp of what's going on, we have in the comic book community a plethora of avenues for you to go to.
And
so
also, shout out Emergency Awesome too. He does great content, man.
Yeah.
The comic book G-Spot.
Yep.
Check him out. If you're in the chat, check him out. We've got Comics on the Mind. We've got all kinds of stuff here in the comic book community.
Mm-hmm.
So when I see these shine bones in the chats on Facebook, Reddit, and I see these folks and they say, hey man, this is terrible. I don't know what's going on. Then clearly you have no clue of what in the hell is in the Marvel Universe. Because on the wallpaper, since y'all folks that say y'all went to the movies and saw shit, y'all say y'all went to the movies and saw shit, on the wallpaper, on the fucking wall, and I think the last episode was the scene from Age of Ultron, if I'm not mistaken. But y'all folks that shit. But then, if I was to pull you to the side and say, hey man, do you know Scarlet Witch is a mutant? You wouldn't know that shit. Most of y'all folks don't even know this shit. Been watching them for what, 8 years? And most of y'all
still don't know.
Still don't know.
Still don't know.
Ain't picked up a book, just read Wikipedia.
So I'm sitting here on the Facebook chat, and one of our hombres, oh well, this is horrible. This is terrible. Well, god damn it, we just only in 3 fucking episodes. This is not motherfucking Endgame. This is not motherfucking Thanos. This is not motherfucking Black Order. This is not motherfucking Ultron. This is not motherfucking, you know, this shit drives me crazy. We're not going to get 1,090, as I told Al yesterday, 94 octane. We're not on 94 octane as soon as a show starts. It's not happening. This is the beginning of the new MCU era. When you go back and you look at Iron Man 1, 2, we'll forget 3, and then and you see how it started out, it was a slow burn. The Mandalorian started out slow. God, y'all know I'm a resident Star Wars fan. The first 2 or 3 episodes was slow, but you know what? I know it has to build up to something big. I just want to be surprised. Let it happen. Too many people watch this show with these high-ass expectations out the gate.
Mm-hmm.
We all learned over the last 2 or 3 years that shit. You know what, man? You know, for all us folk that watch these DC shows, go back to these DC shows, we know what the fuck slow is. Y'all ain't seen me motherfucking slow.
Man.
Sleep.
The walking sleep. The walking sleep. The last 4 seasons of the walking sleep, I'm here to tell you, if y'all think WandaVision and that shit slow as a form, then I'll be more than glad to take you through in season 3 of The Walking Dead and drop you off, and I'll come back 4 years and you'll still be there.
Just go watch season 3 and beyond of The Flash, and you'll see slow.
Hey, we'll find every episode of Tara and load you down, buddy. We got room in the end for you if you think that it's slow. If you think that's slow, let me tell y'all something, man. All these folk they showed up, like Al said, they showed up with Kente Claw. They showed up with Buff.
They were Zamunda.
They showed up with Al Sharpton. They went and got the NAACP Urban Network, the Urban Action Network, and they showed up and they were full speed ahead. They knew everything about comic books. Man. Then when it's time to show up, when it's time to sit down and watch a show that starts from scratch, they say, "Oh, well, this is rough, man. This is rough." And I've even seen some in the comic community that say, "Oh, well, man, this is rough, man. This is rough watching here. I can't handle this. This is bad. This is horrible. This is terrible. This is terrible." Buddy, we saw these pictures for this show, what, 7 months ago? 8 months ago?
Something like that.
Longer than that.
It's been a minute.
We knew this show was going to look like something out of 1963. And if you notice the pattern, it seems like to me on each episode, they're moving the time up.
They're moving forward in time in every episode.
Which therefore denotes to me that something is about to go down. Especially after the last episode, clearly something's getting ready to go down. So I'm just like, people, get a grasp on it, man, y'all casual fans, and chill the fuck out. And that's the easiest way I can tell you. It has driven me crazy this last week, man. And it really boiled over yesterday when we had a buddy of ours in the group on Facebook, was just like, this show is terrible. I guarantee you, he didn't know who the fuck Vision was until he watched Infinity War. And I'm going all the way to Infinity War.
Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron. I don't even know if I watched Age of Ultron. I mean, come on, man. I mean, it drives me insane.
Hold on. This is the same cat that still tries to argue that Tony Stark did create Vision.
Man, if you don't get out of my face with that shit.
Right.
I'm like,
going somewhere. Filthy casuals.
And I mean, it's just like, the first 3 episodes, bodies, the last 5 seasons, the last 8 seasons of Walking Sleep. And the new show, too. That's went down the shithole, too. And so I'm telling you, man.
And Fear the Walking Dead, too.
Yo, I said the shit, that went down the shithole, too. Fear the Walking Dead, the one with the chilling that they just made that I don't know, that somebody said was out there with some kids or something along that line.
Yeah.
Bro, I have The Preacher, first season of The Preacher. Yeah, y'all talking about slow?
I still ain't watched none of those.
Yeah, y'all talking about slow? I can tell you slow. I can show you slow. This show is good for what it's worth. the Wandavision is setting this thing up right down the pipe. I can sit right there and look and say, okay, well, this gonna happen. This can happen. This and it's so many. The thing that's crazy about it is that it's so much shit that can happen. She's talking to somebody. Hell, we don't know who it is.
Right.
Could be Magneto. Could be Professor X. Could be Jean Grey. Could be Elemental
Rogers.
Steve Rogers.
It could be Polaris.
Polaris. I mean, we got all kind of. We got
It could
all
be Jarvis.
to go with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or what's the name? Friday.
Yeah.
Now,
All right.
Cost
What
of
else?
somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, when this blows up, and then we start seeing Hydra, we start seeing all these villains pop up on the scene, and then the show get off the ground, and it's like all these folk that showed up to Mandalorian season 2 that didn't even watch season 1. They just showed up season 2 because
Right.
it was hot.
Right.
Everybody said,
They
"Oh,
jumped on the hype train.
Yeah, the hype train, folks. Folks that I know personally. Listen to this shit now. Laughed at me for being a Star Wars fan. Personally, man, you watch that shit, you into that shit. Then all of a sudden, look on Facebook, go down the timeline. Oh, this Mandalorian. Oh my lord,
This is the way.
They've got
Right.
What's my girl's name? What's my girl's name that was on Luke Cage? I can't think of her name now. What's my girl's name? That
Rosario.
Rosario Dawson. Yeah.
She's standing firm. She's slain. Then I asked him, say, well, did you watch the first season to understand what's going on?
No.
And you know what funny? You know what's funny is that a lot of the people who watch this second season are the ones specking those damn Dark Horse books that's going up now.
Yeah.
Because those Dark Horse issues was not going up the first season, but now after the second season, man, people those Dark Horse books.
This boy preaching tonight. This boy preaching. Them Dark Horse books set for quarters, for dollars, for decades. Listen now, I didn't say years. I said decades, man. They were giving them books away with hot sandwiches and cold Coca-Colas. You go out there on Star Wars, hey, Sean, you go out there on May the 4th, and they will send your ass home with a Dark Horse comic book because they were giving them motherfuckers away.
Getting them out the building.
These books, $500, $800, $200, $300, $400, $500, $600, $700, $8,000 books, man. And then now all of a sudden this shit out the roof. Well, that's the same shit y'all finna try to do with this WandaVision. No, dog, that ain't gonna work. There's too many of them books in the dollar bin. I still see them in the dollar bin. But let me tell y'all, man, these casual fans are the ones that I'm telling you, this shit go out the roof, and then when they go out the roof, they come in, and then they just it's like folks, man. Nothing drives me crazier being in the collecting community and being in the comic community than when people who have never been there since day one have had no interest in this shit, but because it's hot, you show up, and then you have the audacity to try to lecture me or lecture everybody else that know this shit.
Yeah, the same people that picked on us when we were young because we were into it are the ones that gradually came to us trying to get knowledge. Now they got more knowledge on it than we do. Nigga, sit the fuck down.
Let me tell y'all something, man. When I was at my last job, you know, we talked MCU movies. Guys will come and ask me questions about the characters because they knew I was the comic book expert. You know, because they loved the movies, but you know, they ain't know much about the comic books and stuff. Like they had comics when they were young, but they didn't like get deep into it. So they would ask me questions about characters and so forth. You know, and they I didn't mind explaining stuff to them. You know, and I would tell them, you know, if you want to get into comics and read their stories, you know, what issue to start with and stuff like that. One guy actually took the initiative and picked up some trades that I recommended. You know, so those are the casual fans that do right. You know, they actually listen to your advice and actually go and pick up some books or do some research on it and then go and do reading.
That's a true casual fan, though.
Yeah. Those casual fans that think they know, but they really don't know shit. You know, because they like, they'll look at the cliff notes on Wikipedia and think they know they encyclopedia and shit. I'm like, bro, you just got that off of Wikipedia, man. You ain't got the full scope of the story or the full scope of the character's history. Right. Don't come at me with that shit, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm up here now to go copy. I'm trying to copy one of the comments that drove me up the wall when I saw it. But you're right. You know, we was in the comments. Go ahead, Sean. Go ahead.
I'll just put in there.
Let me pull it up here. Boom. 90% of the people who watch Mandalorian season 2 never exactly. They don't even know what the fucking Clone Wars is, man.
Exactly.
They never heard of Attack of the Clones.
You know what's funny? Like, I've never watched Clone Wars, but
you know what it is.
I know who the people are. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I have a question, I'm going to ask it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm not just gonna go read Wiki. I'm going to read several different sources to get the information that I need.
Exactly.
You know, I pretty much have the general gist of the Clone Wars. You know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely not claiming to be a fucking scholar on it like these people are. Like, as Jace pointed to, like, you have no clue, no idea what you're talking about, but you trying to come to us with this stupid shit. I don't understand that.
Look, man, if you ain't been watching this shit for the last 15 years, just chill out, man. Just chill out and enjoy the ride. That's what I tell people. Just chill out and enjoy the ride, man. And if you're unsure, that in the comic community we have something called trades.
Right.
There's a lot of there's even encyclopedias on this shit now.
My thing is,
go ahead, pull out, Sean. I know you got one. You're looking for one. Go ahead, pull one out.
My thing is, in the Star Wars lore, like, I know after this we're gonna get back on WandaVision, but in the Star Wars lore, if you didn't watch the stuff out of order, you can shut the hell up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you didn't watch the first 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then see 1, 2, 3, and then 7, 8, 9, shut the hell up.
Get out of here.
Shut the hell up.
I mean, that's like me going to a pizza restaurant with a wrench and telling them how to make a pizza. I mean, that's how backwards some of these folks sound.
I mean, you want to be a grease monkey? Go ahead.
I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. And then you see folks that they don't have a clear understanding of the characters. And this is a show that clearly you have to have an understanding of the mythos itself.
Right.
You know, not all y'all folk that were hyped this Captain America. Oh man, Captain America. Oh, Captain America. We sitting right here with Sword and Hydra, and you gonna sit up and act like y'all clearly y'all don't know what the hell what's going on here.
Exactly.
Clearly. And fuck y'all folk that drove that Astonishing X-Men book up last week too. While it's on my mind, fuck y'all too. That book $7 for years. I went to the store, man. I was looking at that book like a couple of months ago, and I was like, "Why is this book $20? Why is this book $20?" I was like, "Why is this Astonishing X-Men? All thing Astonishing X-Men number 4, I believe. Why is this or number 8? Why is this book $20, $25? Am I missing something?" I had to ask Larry, what the hell is going on here? Why? What's to do? You know? And he was just like, "Oh, it's the first appearance of Sword or whatever." Now I see why. Here we go.
But it's not even the same sword.
No, it's different.
It's not even the same sword.
That's the thing that Sean that we be talking about all the time when it comes to this spec and shit. It don't even have to be related, man.
It's not even the same name.
It be out the room. Why? Because it's sword.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Like,
just like what somebody put in the preview. Somebody was trying to sell the first appearance of Miles Morales. Man. Like it's
that's been talked about for the last few weeks about that damn previews book.
It's so
I'm
ridiculous.
Like, people are paying so much money bidding for that book when you could get Ultimate Fallout 4 for the prices you paying for that fucking preview.
Right.
That's the book I want.
Hey, Sean, in the CBSI group that came up last night. Matter of fact, we had another argument in the group last night, man. They were talking about Hulk 180. Which just, hey man, the trading card say Wolverine was found in 1980. Dude say, man, please don't start that shit. Because we know it's Hulk fucking 181. We know this. It's just like you said, Sean. Somebody in the group the other day put up in there. Put Ultimate Fallout 4. He was like, "Hey man, I got this for a good price." And we were like, "That's cheaper than what you're gonna pay for that damn preview book, which is even ass backwards." So I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man, how the comic community it can go from one way to another way. Just that quick. We tonight we could go to sleep and wake up tomorrow, and they'll have a Star Wars book that was so fucking obscure as a Dark Horse book that'd be $10,000. You wonder what the hell, man? What is that? Well, that's because Darth Vader's child is in that book, his love child.
Right.
Just make up some shit.
Luke Skywalker's secret twin brother was hinted at in this issue.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
And a dream.
So when we go out to one
in a dream,
and all these characters that are starting that you have in that show, you got a town full of people. And I kind of figured out the last episode, I'm like, something ain't right with these folks in this town. You know, something ain't going. Something in the water ain't right, and you can start figuring it out, and you got that confirmation on the last episode. But then when
here's the thing, though: if you watch the Truman Show, you already know what's going on.
Yeah,
a lot of these folks ain't watch regular TV back in the day too. That's another thing too. Me and Chris were talking about this off air. A lot of folks ain't watch Dick Van Dyke. They have no clue.
No, they no clue.
No clue.
A lot of those old TV shows take place mostly in 1/7.
Yeah.
You never see them, like, you'll see a few episodes where they venture out different places, but most of the time it's 1/7. And the one part that really had me thinking was when the doctor said, you know, small town, it's hard to escape it. And I was like, that's because you're trapped in this whole Wandavision. She's keeping you contained there. You know, and that to me was more alarming hearing it from him, you know, to say that, yeah, this is just Wanda keeping everything tight in it. You know, nobody can escape it except for when she wants to get rid of your ass, like she did poor Geraldine. You know,
that shit was funny, by the way. That shit was hilarious. And then when the beekeeper, who a lot of you folk don't know, is a Hydra operative. When the beekeeper came out that sewer, and she said, "Oh no, we resetting this shit. Nope, we resetting this shit. We rolling it." I said, "Well, shit, honey, you could do that with Thanos. Start over. She can start that shit over back then." But anyway, I digress. But yeah,
here's the difference in that though. This is in her mind, not in reality.
Yeah, I was like, well, no, it wouldn't matter anyway because he had the damn gauntlet, so you would
have. Right.
She rewind Vision when Vision says something, and she glitched it and she rewinded.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit.
Was that episode 2?
No, 3.
3. Yeah, like the third.
But she was sitting in the chair, and I forgot.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Man, I mean, the show. Like I said, it's picked up at episode 3. I saw a comment in our pop culture buddies group on Facebook, and it was like, man, they could just put all this in one episode.
I can agree with that to a certain degree. Like Matt, you and I talked about it. I don't dislike the show, and even in my comments in our personal chat, I just said it needs to pick up quick for my liking. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I grew up watching all these shows. You know, I grew up watching I Love Lucy. I grew up watching I Dream of Jeannie, and I watched the Brady Bunch, even though I despised it. I had to watch it, you know, and that's what we've seen in these 3 episodes. So it's just one of those I needed for me, because I did not enjoy those shows. I needed more pace, you know what I'm saying? But I never said that the show was bad, you know what I mean? Where you got the other cast, they just saying it's horrible, it's this, it's that. No, me personally, I need more action, so to speak, because I didn't like those shows. Now, if it would have been Dick Van Dyke, I'm all game, because I love Dick Van Dyke, you know what I'm saying? But it just wasn't my cup of tea. But I mean, I know what's going on.
But you know what, Sean? And X, you know something? That's like the Vision's comic book. It's kind of almost the same kind of layout of the old.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, it's almost they took parts of that and combined it with what we got now on the show. So, I mean, that
bubblegum scene was hilarious, boy. Paul Bettany is funny as fuck to me.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
He is hilarious.
Yeah, that thing was absolutely hilarious on that show, man. So, I mean, I laughed last night. I mean, that shit was fun. When she threw that girl, when I was like, damn, dog, it's finna get real. Cause when her and Geraldine got that music changed, I was like, that's some damn Dr. Klein shit. You know, Dr. Klein. was like, oh shit, she done got mad as fuck by that. See, what you say? Say it again. And then you look up, her ass and got thrown somewhere else, and I was like, oh, it's about to
So your head get thrown through reality. Thrown to reality.
I mean, that was Mortal Kombat shit. That man, that whoop, this shit's gone, dog.
Hey, you the hesitation and I forgot the black dude name, but he that friend. He's that friend that knows the secret and he wants to really, really tell you, but can't because it'll fuck shit up.
Yeah.
You can just see it. He like, yeah. Hey, bro, look, if you're gonna go in, don't go in raw. All right,
Just
trust me.
Look, just
Trust me. Don't kiss her. Okay.
right.
Yeah. I mean, so I mean, I tell you, man, it's you know, Remo. Yeah, she was. That what I was
Yeah.
saying. Hey, man, talking home, girl.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they represent the true neighbors of those old movies because they were nosy as fucking hell.
Yeah.
Especially in the first episode with that lady. She kept coming back in and stuff. I'm like,
man.
I was like straight out of those old sitcoms, man.
Yeah, and then
Exactly what that was.
But you didn't answer the back though, so I came to the front.
And then when Wanda, when she was looking at the helicopter, and then old girl just pop up, hey, what you doing? I was like, God damn it. Get the fuck out
Right. Right.
Just up in your business.
Boom, you know, like, man, I tell you, man, it was
It's the middle of the night and she is fully clothed in the middle of the street.
Right.
I'm telling you, man, personally, I like the show. If I had to rate it, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. That's me personally. You know, like I said, you know, like you said, you didn't think the show was bad, and I think that's what the line is. People are saying the show's bad with really no basis, with no basis at all, because they don't have any action. There's nobody getting thrown through a wall. There's nobody, you know, there's no Age of Ultron type shit going on, and so you got people that's what they're looking for. And I'm here to tell you,
people not used to the cheesiness of it.
Yeah, and I'm sick of the fact that we knew this shit going in where they was starting with those sitcom parodies, the homages. I knew right from the fact that we wasn't getting no action at the start. So come on, man. That shit is gonna build up to something.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, clearly. When you see the show, man, clearly something get ready to go.
And Remo just said it right there. Just think, in the Mouth of Madness, the John Carpenter movie and WandaVision will make sense. You know, if you put those two together, because reality, you know, you in this fixationist world in the Mouth of Madness, but it actually has real sensibility.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just like Pleasantville.
We all know, fellas, that this thing is going to tie into something that's much bigger than what it is. Because I mean,
and it's going to lead to Doctor Strange. So we got to see how it's going to.
I said we got, you know, hell, that could even be him talking.
I just hate that it's only 30 minutes though, because when it does pick up and we start getting that holy shit, as soon as it starts, it's over. And we got to wait another week for it. You know what I mean?
Right as it gets good, it's gone.
Right.
Yeah.
That's one big gripe that I have with it.
Yeah, that 30 minutes is rough, but you know, some folks be going, that's an hour. I have to sit through an hour of this. Oh my God.
Hey, if it was an hour, we might complain about
it.
Yeah, we might complain if it's too long. Because then he's like, all right.
Yeah.
For the pacing of it right now. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've got a couple of other shows. What's next on the docket, y'all? We got
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Is that next?
Yeah, I think that is the next show. So for all y'all folk that y'all want y'all action, y'all just wait till that come on.
That's the show.
That's the show. You want action, you want espionage, you want ass kicking, then that's gonna be the one that you want to watch.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Start learning the characters before you watch the shows, man. Please. And then stop just talking out your ass. Too many people are talking out their ass, you know, and it just drives me crazy. So, fellas, I know I had one a little bit diatribe there. Is there anything that anybody want to add to that or say in regard to the show? Because I like the show. I thought it was good. Like I said, I just like the Easter eggs that's popping up all over the place, like wallpaper from Age of Ultron, stuff like that. Sean, thoughts?
Oh man, I agree with everything you said, and I enjoyed the show. I'm definitely going to rewatch the first 3 episodes. And Robert G, the Godfather, told me watch the episodes with the text. Put the text on the captions and watch them, and you'll get you get a whole different perspective reading the closed caption text, and some new things will pop up. That will tell you. So I'm definitely going to do that.
Yeah, I know I'm going back and watch it again. X.
I mean, like I said, I like it. I enjoy it. It's just the pace right now, and it's just tied to the shows that they're starting off with. You know what I mean? Hell, we get a Saved by the Bell episode. Hell, I'm gonna be all for it because that was my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Right.
Right.
Jam.
And if they do that, hell, all the stuff we saw in that, I mean, it's just picking up.
I just need, to do a Married with Children one. And you got
they need to do the episode with Psycho Dad when they went to Washington D.C. to keep Psycho Dad on there, and they told that big ass lie. Y'all remember that one? You remember that one? The episode, man, they told that lie.
Like,
to the house with a fishing pole. That shit was funny as hell, man.
Hey, the twins end up being Kelly and Bud.
Yo, that'll be so funny.
Yeah, man.
I do got one question. Like, I know this is, well, first of all, it's telling you that it's all in the head because ain't nobody really questioning outside of Geraldine. Ain't nobody questioning how fast this stuff is progressing in the show.
Right.
Like Geraldine, and they're like, "Oh, you pregnant? Yesterday you weren't." You know what I'm saying? That's what got her booted, but everybody else just like, I want to ask, but I can't. I just kind of needed to get past that. But that's nitpicking shit.
Right.
Yeah. Brock is in the building tonight. Brock says everyone needs to enjoy all of this comic goodness because let's not forget, years ago we could only dream of having this many comic book related movies.
Right.
And he's 100% correct. Yeah. Buddy, let me tell y'all something. All y'all folk, y'all young folk now, we had to go back and watch the old He-Man movie.
Ooh, Masters of the Universe?
Yeah.
Sponsored by KFC.
Yeah, that's what we had. We had that.
Hey, we had the Incredible Hulk.
We had
Fantastic Four.
We had a butt naked Frank Castle sitting Indian style in a sewer.
Right.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
We had Captain America with the helmet and the fiberglass shield.
Oh my God.
Oh, remember Thor meets the Incredible Hulk?
Yep.
Oh, my goodness.
We had trash on trash back in the day.
Trash.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. You remember that, X? Remember going to see that, man? Remember that?
We were so excited to watch that movie. We were so disappointed when we left that movie, man.
That was the one Turtles movie I did not see in theaters because even the trailer showed that it was trash to me.
I wasn't even mad that I broke my figures that came with it.
You know what the only good thing came out of that movie, X? You know what the only good thing came out of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 is I started
the ending?
No, Street Fighter 2, because that's what I wanted. I got up and walked out to go play. And that's what I started getting Street Fighter.
You ain't wrong.
And the worst thing about TMNT 3 is that they brought back the Casey Jones from the first movie. It's like, yo, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Right.
It was wasted.
And Matt knows Casey Jones is my favorite character all time in Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, Casey Jones. That movie was
David Hasselhoff is Nick Fury. God damn.
Oh man.
So I mean, you look at the shit that we got, man. You look at it's like
I forgot about that.
You forgot about that, bro.
Oh
David Hasselhoff is Nick Fury.
That horrible accent, bro. Oh my God.
The bus.
The
bus. Oh yeah, that movie, man.
Jesus.
Rough. So I mean, you see,
am I the only one that didn't like any of the Escape From movies with Kurt Russell?
What?
Man,
I didn't like
I like Escape from New York and LA.
Escape from New York was great. LA was okay for me, but I love Escape from New York.
Kurt Russell has never been a good actor to me.
Damn.
Never.
Hey man, X is a critic now.
I'm just saying he was never a good actor to me. Like if you go to Big Trouble in Little China, they wanted to make him the centerpiece of the movie, and he was the worst actor in that movie to me.
Well, he
Yes,
I love
wasn't
Big
even.
Trouble in Little China, man.
Yeah, me too.
I love Big Trouble in Little China. I just hate Jack Burton.
I got his
He
action
wasn't
figure.
the guy that. He
Oh,
wasn't even the guy that was like the main guy to take.
no, he
down-
wasn't.
He was just pretty much a trucker that just wanted to get the hell out of there.
Right.
Right.
Took
He was trying to
everything
get-
from Wayne Chi.
Even
He's trying to
Remo
catch
said,
his
"Hell
check."
no." Oh yeah, I remember that Generation X movie.
I mean, we had some bad TV, man. I mean, over the last, we had. I mean, woo, it was some rough shit, man, on TV that we had to endure, man.
Hey, man.
I mean, hey, all y'all, if y'all want a snapshot, hey, if they want a snapshot of how bad it was, if y'all want a snapshot of how the closest thing that I can even think of that just came to my mind that I could relate to say how bad some of the shit we had to watch growing up. Hey, man, that fucking Inhumans is right on par with some of the shit that was trash that we had to watch growing up with, and that's the lowest of the low.
Hey, man. When back in the day, if you would rather sit down and watch the live action Beauty and the Beast show over the comic
Rob
show
Roman?
that we had,
with
yeah.
Linda
Now,
Hamilton.
that show ended up being great. Linda Hamilton and Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
That show was amazing compared to a lot of the well, it was amazing anyway, but like us is like growing up in the comic world, we'd rather watch that than watch the stuff that we've been reading because it was trash. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like I can't sit down and watch an episode of The Incredible Hulk. I can't.
What about the Flash, man? Remember the old Flash?
I can watch that.
90s Flash.
Yeah.
I can watch that because it was only like what 9 episodes. It wasn't that long. It didn't live that long.
Yeah, it started and then it was off. You were like, damn.
I mean, you had the Trickster in it. You had Mark Hamill as the Trickster.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, yeah, it was good. Cheese is all outdoor, but hell, it was the early 90s. What do you
Right.
expect?
Yeah.
Exactly. That muscle suit that he put him in and everything.
I was just gonna say that suit looked better than any of the suits that we've seen in the CW.
Has he, in the spirit of TC, has he even got? You still watching the Flash, Chris? Because I know excellent.
Yeah.
I watch it.
Oh, you?
I didn't know it was bad.
Has he got the ring?
No.
Yeah, he's had the ring for a while.
Yes, he did.
he's
Yes,
had the
he
ring.
did. Yes, he
He
did.
got it. Okay, so
Yeah.
I must report to TC and let him know that he does have the ring.
Yeah. But
I
you notice when John
TC
Wesley's ship,
episode.
when John Wesley's ship came in the crossover for Infinite Crisis, they put him back in his 90s Flash.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much it right
You
now.
know, X, you're definitely right about the Incredible Hulk TV show. Because even as a kid, I was just waiting for him to turn into the Hulk and
Right.
wreck shit.
So you
Like,
get it.
there was a lot of episodes where like I had to get through a whole bunch of boring shit
Right.
just to get to the Hulk. And, you know, and then when you get the Hulk, it's like 5 minutes and then that's it. I'm like,
And then it's the end of the episode, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Like you see, there's somebody cuss him out and piss him off just so Lou Ferrigno Hulk out and jump on the screen.
And then you got Wonder Woman spinning around all the whole episode.
Oh my goodness!
Watching the old Incredible Hulk show was like watching the Titanic movie. All you're really doing is waiting for the iceberg to hit the boat.
yeah. hey, I do
That's all
remember
you
that.
care about right now.
Damn.
Matt really jumped in time. Look at him.
I remember that Hulk episode where Ernie Hudson was on there. He tried to kill him through the car wash.
Good night,
Man.
Chris, you've watched the first 2 episodes of WandaVision. What's your thoughts, man?
I think the reviews are a product of their own doing. Like I always talk about, pop culture geeks. They're people who are on the bandwagon who like comic book stuff now because it's pop culture, because it's popular. When we were all growing up, didn't nobody want to be a nerd. You couldn't have paid the average Joe to put on a Batman t-shirt and walk through the halls of his high school. Wouldn't have happened because reading comic books was taboo. It was hard. It was one of the, and especially if you were black, so you might as well forget it. You wasn't gonna have friends. You might as well have leprosy. Wasn't nobody gonna sit with you. Like, and now we have pop culture geeks, and I hate them. They want to sit here and all their knowledge. I know for a fact I have almost slapped the shit out of at least 6 people after Batman Begins came out, and they were like, "Well, he became Batman because he had a fear of bats." I done almost punched like 6 people because of that line. Because I'm just like, Nolan made a good movie, but are you that dumb? Like, you ain't read a single comic book, but you really believe that he became Batman over a fear of bats, not because his parents got killed, which would be a more traumatic. And these people are sitting there, like Matt said, they're sitting here and they're getting literally all their comic book knowledge from the movies, and then they want to sit and be keyboard cowboys online in comic book groups trying to tell people what's going on and the history of these comic books that I've been reading my entire life, that I've literally spent thousands of dollars on, and I've forgotten more comic book knowledge than half these people will ever know. But they want to sit here and argue with you about it. No, it was like this in the movie. I don't give a fuck what Kevin Feige did in the movie. That ain't how it is. That ain't the comic book lore. Like, the fact that now, even in the comic books, I hate the fact that when it comes to the MCU, that the movies have started dictating how the comic books go. My entire life, up until the first Captain America movie came out, was made of a mix of adamantium, vibranium, and a third unknown metal. That's what made it so strong. And then all of a sudden, Captain America comes out, and the only metal that matters is vibranium. And it's just vibranium. And it's like by y'all's own science, if that shield is entirely made out of vibranium, when it hits a wall, it should fall to the floor, because vibranium absorbs vibration. It absorbs.
Thank you.
So the shield shouldn't bounce.
Right.
But all of a sudden, vibranium becomes the most important and the strongest metal in the Marvel universe, and it's like that in the comic books now, because the movies that were based off of the comic books are now dictating how the comic books themselves are turning out, and it's all just turning into garbage because of that. And we got pop culture geeks following this line and believing what's in the movie, which is there's nothing wrong with enjoying the movies, but know your history. Comic books is one of those things that it's one of those only things that people will sit down if they see a movie about it. They're just like, "Yep, that makes sense to me." But then they won't read anything about it to find out for themselves. But we got a movie called Tubman where Harriet Tubman's sporting pistols and shooting people, and everybody's like, "That's not historically accurate." I read a book, but you won't read a comic book to find out. You won't read a comic book, right?
Let me say something. All this Al Rain is in the chat. I'm gonna go send this over to brother Al. Buddy, you better go find all the X-Men shit you can find, cause these folks for to have that shit so ass backwards when X-Men come out. You think they Black Panther fan? Wait, the Storm show up on the scene. When the Marvel Storm show up on the scene, this shit for to be out of control. They gonna be talking about Professor X finding the X-Men at a Masonic lodge on a lodge night with Fred Flintstone, with the Grand Poobah and all these folk. They're gonna have all kind of crazy ass conspiracy theories. You know, we've already seen one. Me and Al have already seen one where they say, you know, this is based off of Martin Luther King and the civil rights movement and all the X-Men, all this shit. All these folk that ain't even read this shit has no clue. Is Wolverine? They think Wolverine is American. They have no clue. They have no clue where they're from. They have no clue what program. Weapon G. That's what they say. Weapon G. All kind of crazy conspiracy theory, man.
Yeah.
All kind of crazy conspiracy theory that that they come up with because people don't know this.
You know what's the most insulting one? Not only they think Wolverine is American, they thinking you got others saying, "Oh, Wolverine's Australian. He was played by Hugh Jackman."
Man.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
And you know the thing about it is when Chris talking about Marvel changing the comic books to make it seem like they're the movies. That's why I really don't like reading comics that's completely made for a future TV series. They are writing these books like you're reading a TV series, and it's like,
yep,
this ain't no comic book. This is made for TV, you know, and it's like, write a comic book story. Don't write a book that you're setting up your TV series.
Don't write
that a lot more now. That's why I avoid Mark Millar stuff, because all his shit is just made for his Netflix shows, you know.
Yep.
And it's like it was like that with a lot of his stuff. Once they start becoming popular in movies and TV, then everything he writes is pretty much set up to become a TV series.
It's all just screenplays.
Yep.
Yeah, like when Outcast came out by Robert Kirkman, they said that's gonna be a show on Cinemax. The first issue ain't even come on. They already say that's gonna be a show. So automatically, people buying multiple copies of the first issue of Outcast, and when you read it, it's slow as hell. And by the time I got to the 12th issue, I was like, man, I'm done with this shit because it felt like I'm reading a TV show.
Yep.
And it's like, nah, man.
Yeah. And that's the thing that's crazy. And that's one of the things that we noticed that I noticed with Marvel, man, is that if you want to know what's for to go down, you start looking at them previews, and then you start seeing if it's something that's getting ready to come out, a movie that's down the line, you start looking at the previews and you watch what's coming. And they're gonna push that to the nth degree.
I got a question. How you think they're gonna retcon adamantium when they introduce Wolverine?
Oh,
it's made about
right. Like I fully see them changing that just so it fits with the rest of the lore of. I mean, because let's just be real. We see what they did with time travel in Endgame. Marvel, they have no problem just changing what's necessary. As me and my brother call it, we call it Marvel science. They just change it to whatever they needed to so it fits the situation. No more mutants. Woo! All of a sudden, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver ain't Magneto's kids no more. They got their powers from the Infinity Stone. Captain Marvel got her power from the Infinity Stone. All of a sudden, everybody got their mutant abilities from rainbows and unicorn farts.
Right. But I really want to see, because if you look at it, they've been force feeding the Weapon X program ever since Captain America, the first Avenger. You know what I'm saying? They've been force feeding that and hinting to it. Are they sticking their foot in their mouth when they bring in Wolverine and everybody else that was in the program after Captain America?
Well, they did the comic. They did the comic book, the Wolverine Captain America comic book. That also, I think, if I remember right, like Deadpool appeared in also, and basically the comic book tied the Weapon X project that created Wolverine to the Super Soldier program that made Captain America. Basically saying that they created Wolverine trying to recreate Captain America.
Well, he was what, the 10th, right? The 10th subject, yeah.
Right. And so then so they've already got it in the comic books where they've linked the X-Men to Captain America, and we know they've linked them to the Hulk because they did Weapon H, where they basically they did the whole story arc where they basically took the DNA sample from everybody that was in the Weapon X program, and then mixed it with the Hulk, and then they made Weapon H, which was basically a Hulk with Wolverine claws.
Right.
Now those claws was adamantium, right? Because I ain't read Weapon X.
They made him out of adamantium. They laced his body with adamantium, so he's got the strength and the size and the speed of the Hulk.
And he has all the healing factors of everybody too.
Do y'all remember when they said in the early days of comics that adamantium was the rarest metal found?
They said the same thing about the vibranium too, but we see how
it's a whole country.
It's a giant meteor.
Yeah, the entire country is vibranium.
Right.
And then
vibranium air particles.
Cyber had adamantium.
Right.
Bullseye had adamantium spine.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Then Sabretooth had gotten adamantium for a while.
Cyber.
Well, he said Cyber. Lady Deathstrike.
Okay,
Lady Deathstrike.
But you remember though,
hers grew.
Right, but you remember though, in the 90s, adamantium still was rare because they killed Cyber to get the adamantium off of his arms to give Bullseye his spine.
And then gave it back to him.
Yeah.
No, they didn't kill Cyber for Bullseye. They killed
somebody.
For Wolverine. Because
okay.
Yeah, in issue 100, he tried to put it back in Wolverine, and Wolverine rejected it.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember it still was rare because they killed Cyber to get his adamantium.
Bullseye got the adamantium through because his back was messed up when Daredevil dropped him.
Yeah.
And his spine was wrecked. But I forgot how Bullseye got the adamantium. It was some secret project that got him.
Everything has changed. Like it's all has taken on like I said, originally the movies were inspired by the comic books, and now the comic books are being inspired by the movies. Adamantium is no longer the strongest and rarest metal. Vibranium is the strongest and rarest metal in the Marvel Cinematic, universe. And even in the comic books, and so it's just weird. They're gonna have to fix. So they're either gonna have to fix it or they'll just ignore it, like Iron Man 3.
What was Thanos' blade made out of in the movie?
Apparently not vibranium. Something stronger than.
Because he couldn't do that thing like he was butter, boy.
He fucked that shield up.
Man. They sitting there talking about all this, but y'all better get that damn blade and figure out what to do with it.
Right, because he just destroyed what is the strongest metal in the universe. He just chopped it up like it was nothing.
Ain't no bouncing off of this. Woo, woo.
He was on that cheetah shit.
Oh my goodness.
No.
All right, fellas. Well, that is it for tonight. We've got our hauls, and we're gonna go through that, and then that'll be it. So, Sean, you want to start us off tonight, man?
I'll start off. I got a couple of things. I'm gonna show the new books, then I'm gonna show some back issues. I got Savage Dragon 256.
Nice.
Oh,
yeah, the return of Mako.
It look like a ripple from the days gone.
ASM 57. See how lame Spider-Man is? He knocked out or slumped over. All right.
Is that a car? Is he landed on a car?
Look, his spine broke.
His spine all jacked up, but Spider-Man's flexible, so his spine is good.
I'm not gonna lie. I did pre-order. I went ahead and pre-ordered the Spider-Man 62 and 63 with a new suit on the cover.
Next, Batman issue number 2. Then I got this. I actually enjoyed
5 pages of reading.
Future State Superman Wonder Woman. Future State Catwoman number 1. Art Germ. And Future State Justice League number 1. Then for some back issues, I picked up some Black Panther issues I was missing. It's issue 11. Nice Enter the Dragon homage.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Man, I like it, but so many people have done that
Better.
homage.
There's a Wolverine issue that they did that's better.
The Nightwing movie poster.
Grayson.
Yeah, the Grayson poster was
Mm-hmm.
way better. Man, I loved that. I got that one.
Black Panther issue number 12.
Is he carrying Iron Man on his back?
Nah, there's some other jabroni.
Oh, okay.
Iron Man.
What is going on?
I have, this is like a 2-parter, so now I have both I can read. Issue 38.
Return of the Dragon.
Issue number 2. Some Defenders with issue 66. Valkyrie on the cover.
Valkyrie.
Very nice.
And issue 67 with the whole crew. And some Savage Dragon back issues. I got 49.
Man, how come the Hulk pants always turn purple?
How come the Hulk's pants just never shred off completely?
Right.
But
they always stop
even if he had on slacks, they turned into jogging pants. I don't understand that.
Hey, like he must got them stretcher pants or something, man.
Right. Yeah, the original yoga pants.
Oh my goodness!
What was on Cartoon Network? I just need a decent pair of pants.
I just need a decent pair of pants.
Decent pair, man. This is 72.
That's it.
Oh yeah.
Savage Dragon was such a great comic book. Not a good cartoon, but a good comic book.
The cartoon was hard based.
Was bad, but I still watched it, man. Because then I got these in the mail early in the week, and this was part of the Jim Balin and Holly of Broad Street Comics. This is the Jim Balin Red Sonja cover.
Ooh, very nice.
Got the regular.
That was another movie we grew up watching.
Yep. And for all the time when I was a kid, I'm thinking that's freaking Conan. Arnold as Conan. He wasn't even Conan.
Nope.
When I found that out, I was so disappointed.
What was his name?
It wasn't Conan, so it's like
It's like Falcor or something like that. Something.
Falcor was the dog dragon from the Never Ending
No, I
Story.
know that. That was I know that, but his name was similar to that in Red Sonja.
Should have just been Conan.
and these are the Vampirellas that Holly did for the facsimile cover of the annual.
Very nice.
These came in the mail this week. Black and white.
So that looked like some Mary Tyler Moore type stuff right there.
Right.
80s vibe. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Got that Saved by the Bell background.
Mm-hmm.
Do.
You know that remake is out.
I didn't give it a watch, man. I'm like, I don't know, man.
Braver than me. You're braver than me.
They shouldn't even went to college.
That's it, Sean?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it? Okay. All right. So I also have read Sonja. I got the got the name of that movie, man. But
Attack of the 50-foot woman.
Attack of the 50-foot woman, yeah.
Yeah. So that cover.
I mean, the cover tells you everything, Matt.
I went over to my cousin's house. My cousin passed away some years ago, and so I was digging through his comic books and found some loose ones. He had a Man Thing #1 newsstand edition, so I picked that up. Almost read a copy. He had a couple of.
I'm shocked you ain't got it in the Mylar.
Sure, I had to pull them now because I had to move that stuff around when we.
Yeah.
Got Shogun Warriors 12 price variant, and I've got a.
You better not drop them books like that.
And I've got
they might fall apart.
Right.
Number 8. Yeah, they old, man. He's old.
No white gloves or nothing.
Staple just come out, book just fall apart.
Also,
disintegrated. The Snapchat.
I found his instruction book of Final Fantasy #1.
Wow.
With get this shit. This
the instruction manual for the first Final Fantasy.
With the map.
With the map still?
Yeah, with the maps. Yeah.
But you know how much that DLC will be right now.
Man,
Good
you
gracious.
imagine what the DLC for that shit would have been?
Man.
Oh, you talking like $79.99 season 1 pass, dog.
You want to talk about price gouging?
Oh,
Yeah.
they didn't do that back in the day. Pick this book up, Ninja Nuns by Scott Comics.
All right, then.
And I actually looked up. I went up to Dr. No's. I had to work up in Atlanta last week, so I stopped by Dr. No's just to see if they had one. And luckily they did, and they had it for cover price, which I was really glad. And that's Haha #1. This seems to be the new book to gouge.
So many folks talking about that.
Yeah, to gouge. We got a little bit of Betty and Veronica 44, and the person I bought it from actually sent an extra copy. Man, they actually sent a Golden Age. It's a reader copy, but it's I'm not gonna complain. Betty and Veronica 102, Golden Age. Betty and Veronica. So I was like, okay. Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that.
Right.
Also picked up some Bitter Root.
Neighbor Totoro cover.
Yeah.
Man, they got so many variant covers.
Yeah, Bitter Root, man. Got some nice ones.
Good God, yes.
I still can't get to Do the Right Thing one.
Betty and Veronica #5, newsstand. All right, Shannon. I know Shannon watching, so I got a treat for Shannon. This is actually a book. This is
Flap.
I forgot. It's the artist's first cover. I cannot think of his name now. But this is Cry for Dawn #4.
With Ron Jeremy.
I've got some Ninja Turtles. I've got Ninja Turtles, the animated adventures.
Well, you got enough tape on the back of that book?
Nope.
Good God.
Gotta make sure it don't go nowhere.
That boy got 4 strips of tape on the back of that.
Picked up Cereal.
I like that cover.
Avengers Academy #1 for $1.
That was actually a
Man,
good book.
that was during the time when Marvel put out so many Avengers titles.
Yeah, they had what was it? Avengers Academy. They had a whole bunch of them, man. All 8. Got Vampirilla in the house. Thick.
That's
Nice.
great cover.
And man, I found a book while I was at Dr. No's. A book that I had been looking for a while, man. This is Strangers in Paradise #1. And signed by Terry Moore. So I was like, man, $20.
I need to get up to Dr. No's.
It was fun when me, him, and Larry went. Man, did I post a picture of y'all laying on the floor looking at books?
Yeah, you did. It's on there.
Hey, boy, I'm talking about they were sprawled out. My knees were shot. I couldn't do it.
And I do have a slab.
Uh-oh.
2021.
As soon as he say slab, he get a notification too. Y'all notice that, right?
This is Danger Girl G.I. Joe #1.
Scarlet cover.
Scarlet cover by Jeff Scott Campbell. So,
Campbell do some good work, boy. I swear.
Yep, man. Yep. So, and that is it. X, coming over to you, brother.
All right, I got a few. Got Future State Dark Detective #1, A cover. Also got Future State Detective Comics. I mean Dark Detective. Sorry, variant cover right here. Future State Flash. Trying to get it with no glare. Future State Harley Quinn, the Explosion variant.
That's the only one I didn't get the variant for.
Man, hey, bruh, you get all the variants if you want to. I found that out this week. Got the next Batman, #1, A cover. Then got #1 variant cover right here. Yeah, I'm not taking this one out. I bought an A cover just to read, and all the variants gonna stay sealed.
Yep.
But got the next Batman #2, A cover. Then got this variant right here. Also got this, picked up this variant as well.
Ooh.
Well, you rolling, man.
Got Nightwing, A cover. Also got the variant cover for Nightwing. And got Teen Titans Future State variant cover. Got, now keep in mind some of these are older because I ain't been on in a while too, but Batman Catwoman #1.
That story is so good.
I haven't read it yet. I'm gonna dive into it though.
You've seen Mask of the Phantasm, right?
Yeah.
Ties directly to it.
Yeah, so I bought that book because you said that. Yep. I just haven't read it yet. But I got #2 right here. As well as, I think this is a variant cover as well, but also got this variant cover right here. It literally, just the artwork on it, the art style caught my eye. I had to have it. Got Walking Dead Deluxe #1. This was an issue this was a cover that I missed, so I went and grabbed that one. Got Walking Dead Deluxe #2 because the variant cover that I wanted never came in, so I just went ahead and grabbed this one so I can have it in the collection. Got Walking Dead Deluxe #4. #3 is in my box. Forgot to grab that one. #5. Gotta make sure these things don't fall. Got #6 right here. I just got it because somebody was getting punched. Had to have that one.
Is he really doing the whole series like that?
From what I've seen, I've only seen up to 11, but that can change at any time. Well, actually, I've seen up to 13. But got this one right here, #7, I think. Yeah, #7. Got Detective Comics 1032 just because I love the cover. It looks like the Batman movie that we're not gonna get with Robert Pattinson. Got Batman Black and White #1. Gonna pick up #2 this week when it come out.
Nice.
Got crossover #2. I still gotta get #1 from Al and the little trade that we're gonna do. And I got crossover #3, but I got the variant cover with Spawn on it, and she's reading the Savage Dragon. And went ahead and picked up another version of it. This one I can't even make out the name of the comic that she's reading. Can y'all see it? Right there. But I'm trying to find as many of these as I can with the different books that she's reading on it. And last but not least, I finally got my black and white variant in after 1,200 years of ordering it. But that's my little haul. That's not everything that I got, but that's just what I can pretty much pick up and bring over that I haven't cataloged already.
All right, Chris,
Okay.
coming over to you, brother.
Yeah, I got a nice little stack. I'm trying to get all the variants for all the Future State comics, at least the #1s. Not really worried about past that, but you got Future State, Robin Eternal #1, which was really good and surprising actually, because I was
gonna ask, was it a good read?
It is, because I was surprised by the Robin that it is in the book.
Huh.
By who the actual Robin is. Dark Detective #1 had to get, and all like, yeah, all my Future State except for Harley Quinn, all my Future States are the alternate variant covers. Had to get the Kara Zor-El variant #1. Then Future State Superman, Wonder Woman, Teen Titans. I picked up the Future State Green Lantern #1. It is actually pretty good. I can't wait for the other Green. No, not the other Green, but in Justice League, because I picked up Justice League #1 with the variant. But our girl from Far Sector, Sean, is in the Justice League on this, and she actually takes points. She's like the Batman of the team.
Yeah, I saw that.
Man, I was hyped for that. I was so glad that they did her justice in the comic.
I was worried about it when she was going to be in there, but they did it good.
Mm-hmm. And I'm actually really impressed with the comic because it actually the story and the villains that they show at the end of the first issue of the Justice League comic book are actually the villains from the '97 Grant Morrison run of the Justice League comic book when it first came back. This first time these villains have actually shown up since then. And they're using them now. So I was actually pretty impressed by that. Picked up Dark Knight's Death Metal #7, the 2 Wonder Woman cover. I got the other cover for issue 2X for Batman and Catwoman. I went ahead with the other one because I didn't. When I went into Origins, they had the one with Joker and Catwoman and Batman on the cover, but I didn't like that one. I preferred that one.
Right.
Deceased Dead Planet #7. Most of the variants for it have been movie variants, and I've been enjoying all of them. I'm gonna give Al's boy a chance with Future State Shazam #1 and see how
That's a dope cover though.
Yeah, man.
That is a sick cover.
I couldn't pass it up, man. I had to. Catwoman #1. And like I was telling Matt earlier before we started the show, this was the last next Batman #2 variant on the shelf. Everybody picked up this variant.
Yeah, everybody grabbing that book, man.
Had to. Got Nightwing. And then the Born of Wonder Woman #1. I picked up the Peach Momomo, the Peach cover, because I like it.
Picked it up.
I like Jim Patel, but I like that cover better.
Oh man, I forgot to show my doggone Rush Set books.
Then I got Superman Worlds of War 1. Got the variant for that. Got Superman looking like He-Man.
I thought that was Hercules at first.
Yeah, Superman got buff in the future. Apparently, he done went.
But is it him or his son?
That's him. It's
him.
that's Clark. The son,
Okay.
John, is the Superman in Superman of Metropolis, and in the Superman Wonder Woman comic book, and in the Justice League comic book, it's all John.
Okay.
So Clark's only in this one.
Superman on that David Goggins workout.
And he
That type
a
of
Spartan.
Yeah,
man.
King Leonidas right there.
Hit the dollar bin and picked up almost the entire run from 1 through 10 of Superman Birthright in the dollar bin, which was actually pretty sweet. I'm only missing like 2 or 3 issues, which shouldn't be hard to. Unfortunately, they didn't have it in the variant covers for it, but it was still pretty good though. Like it's a good read, and I was just like at $1 a piece. I figured why not pick up, and then really was special hunting. I went to the Book Nook, picked up Wonder Woman #3.
Boy, Matt eyes lit up when you said book.
One of George Fred's issues of Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Who is she carrying?
I'm assuming that's Steve Trevor because I mean he's useless, so you know. Another George Fred, which I'm hoping when Khan's picking back up, I can get him to sign it because I've met him like twice. So I picked up another George Fred cover. Hopefully get him to sign it.
I totally missed out on meeting him, man. God.
Finally found the Flash Darwin Cook cover that I was missing.
Love them Darwin Cook covers, man.
Yeah, man.
Got it for cover price at the Book Nook.
And he did some awesome covers, man, before he passed.
Got Flash number 752 just because I liked the cover. It was at the phasing cover was actually really cool to me, and I was like, I just had to get that one. So I picked that one up, and then I picked up a comic book that I didn't even know I wanted until I saw it on Facebook Marketplace. Somebody was selling it with a bunch of other comics, and I saw the cover, and I was like, well, I got to hunt it down because I have this is Green Lantern 23 from the Sinestro Cold War, but
man, I love that cover, man.
I've got the original cover from the Emerald Twilight story when Hal went nuts, and he's got all the rings, the original version of this. And so once I saw this one, I had to go hunt it down, and again found it at the Book Nook, cover price, sitting in the bin like it was nothing, you know. And then I got to hunt down. They apparently also did one for when they did the crossover with Planet of the Apes. There's a Planet of the Apes cover that's just like this with the main. There it is. Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Classic, man.
And there's another one like this that's Catwoman and the one from Planet of the Apes. I got to hunt down those to get them too. But that's it for me. That's my little.
People say this is the Tom Brady cover.
I'm taking that and run with it. Yeah,
that's the Tom Brady cover, man. All the rings.
Wow.
The way it's looking, he might be adding another one.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
All right, fellas. Well, what an excellent show, y'all. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Check out Stay Puft 1983 every Saturday at 2:30.
2 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
I'm sorry, 2 o'clock. You know what? I always think 2:30, man. I don't know why I think 2:30. But anyway, 2 o'clock.
Because you old.
I know, man. Don't
gotta get that early bird special.
Silver Sunday will be tomorrow at 3 o'clock. We move to a new time, 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
3 o'clock, Silver Age.
And also, I came up short in my bid to become the Hunt Heavyweight Champion.
I saw that, man. I saw that.
Oh man, Unkind. He hit me with the hammers, and I came at him with these 2 books.
I saw it.
He answered, man.
He was dropping them, boy.
So this coming Friday, I will be back on the hunt, and this time I'm challenging Tony Sanders himself, the Tone, for the cover championship. So I've held the Hunt Heavyweight title before, but now I'm coming for that cover championship, man. And the Tone better watch out.
Hey man, you better watch out, man. You see that promo he just cut? That's a world-class promo.
Hey, like I said, I came real good on that Hunt show, but Unkind he did it better. He one-upped me.
Let me throw this out there for y'all. Pops, did you see the Ric Flair? You saw Ric Flair pop, didn't you? X, have you seen the new Ric Flair pop that's coming out?
Yeah, I seen it.
Okay, all right. Try to pre-order if you can. So, All right. Well, with that, we are out. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell your family, tell everyone about the Comic Hall and Roundtable Discussion. Check us out on IG, Comic Hall Roundtable Discussion, and we will be back next week. But for now, we're out. Everybody, have a great night.
Have a good night.